The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barber's Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack this like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Before we start the show, we want to thank our sponsors, Pillars. Pillars is the best clothing line in the Chicagoland area. If you're looking for a dope hoodie, a sweatsuit, shirts, shoes, or even stuff for your kids, Pillars is where you should go. You can visit any of their 4 store locations in the Chicagoland area or visit pillarsclub.co and order online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. It is Monday, May 20th. I am your host, Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarberChairScott. You can follow the Barber's Chat Network at BarberChatNet on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barber's Chat Network. Get in tune with our partners, H&B Media. You can follow them at H&B Media TV on Twitter and H&B Media on Instagram, man. Of course, get in tune with our sponsors, Pillars. Go to pillarsclub.co, Pillars_club on Instagram, or visit any of their 3 locations in the Chicagoland area. There's one in the West Loop over there on Madison, one in Orland Mall, and one in Chicago Ridge Mall, man. We've got a very packed show for y'all today, man. Looking forward to getting into everything. We've got NBA talk about. We got playoffs. We got a little bit of baseball to talk about. Courtney will join us towards the end of the show. We're going to talk about some baseball. Dante is not here today, because Dante is taking care of things he got to take care of. Mikey is on the barbershop IR still, so we're wishing for him to rest up and join us back on the show. And we should be able to have the whole crew here soon in the coming weeks, man. And also we got the return of cousin Dan later in the show. He has not been on the show for about 6 weeks, and popular to what he says when he comes on here, I have not been blocking him from being on the show. Okay, I was sick for about a month, as we have seen. I've been talking like Doc Rivers up until last week, and then because of scheduling, he wasn't on here. So let's not listen to the lies he says when he comes on here. But let's bring in our co-host, man, before we bring in our first guest. We got the one and only J.R. Bang. Bang, what's going on, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. I'm for those who don't know, I'm doing double duty on the show today. So anything that happens, don't blame me. Just blame training, because I just got thrown out there. Even though I'm used to doing this on
That's what I'm about to say. You should know how to do this.
I know how to do it, but different shows, different networks, different ways of production. So I'm just making sure we all good. See?
This is very true. So if anything happens, still blame Dante.
That's what
we're still gonna do. And for our co-host today, we got the one and only Detroit player. Mariano. Mari, what's going on, brother?
I'm here, man. Listen, I'm glad to be back. I'm always glad to, sit here and talk to my good brothers. Bang, yo, Scott, yo, y'all, come on, y'all know what we do every time, man. Listen, on Twitter, at Mariano, 2 N's, 2 O's, like I'm telling your aunt and your mom this time, because I don't know how your mom got on block, but that's another story. But we back, man. Like he said, man, we back to talk, man.
The only man who still pods with the do-rag on, man. Show some respect to the man.
Yeah, when you see me, I'm at home with the kids and the pets and the wife and all that, man. I'm, this is it right here. Do-rag on. That mean I'm at peace. I'm peaceful. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Let's get into it, man. Before we bring our guest in, I don't want to give her the wrong introduction. I'm very, very keen on my introduction. I got to give a birthday toast to my guy Bang. He's gonna be 50 tomorrow.
Nigga.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. No. Listen, Bang. You shouldn't. No. That's the wrong reaction, bro. You look
I ain't
great,
gonna be
my
50.
boy. You look
He's
great,
not gonna
man.
be 50.
He gonna
I'm
be
50.
50. What? 56.
Nigga,
No.
you too. Nigga, I'll be 42.
No, I'm playing, man.
What the fuck is wrong with? You know what? I was not trying to cuss this early into the show.
This sip of Casamigos is for you, my guy.
I was
My
in
boy,
work.
man.
I was in work mode for the show. I was prepared. I wasn't drinking, but I will be drinking something after the show. But I did take, my edibles. So,
Happy
I'll
early
be chill
birthday,
for the
bro.
rest of the show. But yes, 42 tomorrow. My James Worthy on, not Jackie Robinson, because everybody has used Jackie Robinson for 42. You know what I'm saying? But either that or I think Ed Neely had 42.
That's a name.
Bulls.
Jerry Stackhouse.
Yeah. Now, I'm different than a lot of people. I be trying to just no, he had 45, Ed Neely. So I'm that. But no, I try to get people people remember, have numbers and shit, because then people be trying to get James Worthy jerseys or I give me like Cliff Levingston jersey and shit.
Cliff Levingston.
Cliff Levingston jersey,
Chicago Bulls
like
legend.
that. I got that, but nah, I appreciate that, man. 42 was, it was a lot of stuff going on for 41, but now 42 is here, and shit, we're gonna have us a good ass time. So, thank y'all. And if y'all do that, we go Elton Brand. And if y'all want to celebrate with me
next Thursday,
y'all, next Thursday, we at Haymarket Pub for the 200th episode celebration of Some Dude Pod. $10 holla, using that to donate, to go ahead and spread that love with more content and praying for more stuff, to do more stuff for the show. But we having a good time. It's not no live pod. We actually just here to have a good time. So y'all join me, Mike B, the Barbershop Gang at Haymarket Pub next Thursday for the 200 episode celebration of Some Dude Pod. And tomorrow we're going to go live because tomorrow is my actual birthday. So we're going to be doing Some Dude live on all socials and stuff to celebrate 42. So come kick it with us tomorrow on the interwebs, and then next Thursday, May 30th for the celebration.
All right, let's bring in our first guest of the evening. We got the one and only Reeta The NFL Chick. I'm happy to call her a friend of the program. Y'all can follow her at The NFL Chick on Twitter. She's one half of the Gridiron Gals podcast, the Winning Drive podcast, and of course 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. Reeta, how's it going? Glad to have you back on the show.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm glad to be back, and happy early birthday to you, JR. So enjoy.
I got one present. I need one present from you. Say two.
I'm listening. I can say, boy, fuck you. That's what I can say.
I always got to do that for all of my Baltimore people. I just be like, hey, real quick. Say two. No, I'm telling you, my favorite Baltimore moment is The Wire, man. When Bunk and what's the name? I think they was about to arrest her, but they didn't. And she said, man, and Bunk said, I'm about to go get some pussy. She said, me too. And I was like, oh. And then when I moved out to the DMV, I was like, oh, so that's really the accent. So no, I love it. I love the accent. Just real. Like everybody be making fun of me saying car. Like we don't say our R's when we say car. I got to do the same thing with my Baltimore people. So.
I get asked if I'm Southern every time I'm in LA. Like, are you Southern? Like, no, nigga. We Chicago niggas, we Mississippi niggas with coats. That's what we are. That's all we. I don't know who. Yeah, that's somebody got there.
No, somebody backing up out here. It might be Jadakiss, man. I don't know, because he always talking about units and measures and trucks and all that kind of. It may be him.
But no, man. Shouts out to my second home, man. The DMV and all my Baltimore people out there. Shouts out to everybody on 92Q, Magic Baltimore, all that. So I love hearing that accent. So.
Oh, you would have passed the test then, because remember when
I don't really
Snoop and Chris was like, "Yo, ask them who be on the radio out here that you can see who from New York and who from Baltimore." You would have passed that test, JR. Okay,
because I work for the company. I better pass it.
Good point. I don't say it like that. Like if you ask me, and I think I got to be like real deep in conversation to say it the way that y'all want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't really happen like straight off. It might be a little bit, but like I I gotta be really entrenched in conversation for like my full accent to come out. So it wouldn't have been authentic if you asked me to say it. And
Oh no,
say
I
it and
feel you.
like just
Hey,
say it.
hey,
You know what I'm saying?
hey, depending on
It's
what
gonna
happens on
come
the
up
first
somewhere
game of
later.
the year, depending on what happened with first game
Oh,
of the year, we
that's
might
true
hear it a
too.
lot.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Let's get right into it, man. I want to talk some NFL. Of course, we know it's been a big NBA weekend, and we're gonna eventually get into some NBA when the homie Pavy joins us later. But we are mainly an NFL show, as we are here. So I just want to get into this first story. Reeta, wanted to get your opinion on. This is kind of like a weird story that I just read like a couple hours ago. Fanatics. Run by Michael Rubin. He had like his little fanatics. I was doing a power circle meeting, whatever you Illuminati meeting this past weekend with him and Jay-Z, and they meeting with all the first round draft picks. And it's not that they were sitting with Jay-Z. The funniest part of that video, I don't know if y'all saw it. I was like, what's Jay-Z gonna tell me about throwing the football? If I'm like, Drake May or something like that. But to see Tom Brady had these conversations, of course, I ran wild with the Tom Brady Caleb Williams picture, as I should. But Fanatics comes out there. They're suing Marvin Harrison Jr. Allegedly, there was a contract signed between the two that Marvin's not, honoring, but he's saying, as well as his father, who we will not name, said that he did not sign the papers. And we got this whole little thing going on, and just this whole little intro into the NFL. I won't say it's been weird, but it's, it kind of hasn't been the norm, with, his jersey not being for sale. And it's probably got something to do with this Fanatics deal. Reeta, what you think about everything going on with this particular situation?
So this is kind of weird. Like you read up on it, and basically what happened is, I guess he had other suitors after he allegedly came to terms with Fanatics about signing autographs. So I guess he's like, yeah, I want y'all to up the ante on this deal. And then Fanatics is like, this is what they're alleging anyway. We don't know how true this is. They're like, okay, well, what's the amount? And then he's not just saying the amount, he's just going on and doing business his own way, and now just saying like flat out that he doesn't have a deal with Fanatics. So my thing is that, I mean, I would like to think that Fanatics is a company that could absolutely give us documentation that Marvin Harrison Jr., has a contract with them. And if there's any type of provisions that allows, like if another suitor comes and says, we're willing to pay you more money, if it doesn't matter, or if they have the opportunity to, match, you know what I mean? Like it's a Target and Walmart or some shit, I don't know. But like then that can work. But I got like, this is weird, I guess, because we know that what company doesn't have some type of documentation? Somebody's lying here. And to me, it seems very easy to call out the lie. Like, either you signed a contract or you didn't. And if you didn't sign a contract, well, that's on you, Fanatics. And I would like to believe that they're a company that's run very well. But then I also remember that Fanatics is the same company that did the Major League Baseball pants. So maybe they're not a well-run company. Maybe they're not doing good over there. Maybe somebody slipped through the cracks. And this is like, Marvin Harrison has some type of right. I'm curious to see how this all plays out. But also, this is where people will start having these conversations about, even though I don't necessarily know if this is like NIL per se, but because NIL exists now, right? Things like this absolutely could happen. You know what I'm saying? Because if someone's not represented, or if somebody is, underrepresented and they are brought by a big company or whatever, and they try to take advantage of these young kids, I'm just curious to see how this unfolds. And I hope that these college kids is watching this too, because this could absolutely happen to you. Y'all got to be more prepared, because NIL, y'all, unfortunately, you got targets on your back. So there's going to be people out there looking to take advantage of these kids and looking to try to, sue these kids for any and everything. So this is definitely interesting. And again, I don't think it's the NIL per se, but because NIL is now legal, we can see more fanatics type deals for like big players or whatever. And this can happen to anybody. So I think that this should be a staple of what we are about to see unfolding like now in college football and NIL in general.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I'm with you. Like, for a company that you would think, keyword think, is run well, like Fanatics, this should be an easy thing to prove. Like, yo, we got your signature right here.
Right.
You're supposed to do this, that, and the third. The fact that there's some cloudiness around it kind of, gets my antenna raised a little bit. Like, well, I'm on Marvin Harrison Jr. side with this. Like, you know if you signed something, if you didn't sign something. So I don't know if they're trying to run game or to try to pull a fast one. And we all know, I don't want to say there's rumors about Mark Cuban, and I'm not Mark Cuban, Mark Rubin and thing like that. But Fanatics isn't been looked at in the best light by the public, as far as how they do things, and the way people don't even like how the jerseys look anymore. So it wouldn't shock me as well. But I think you're right too. This is kind of like just the way that he's come in, and Marvin Harrison Jr. To me, who was the only generational talent in this draft, and this is something coming from somebody whose quarterback is Caleb Williams. I'm not going to stand off what I said in November. I feel like Marv was the only generational talent here, where he has a reason or the right to handle things the way he's handled it because he's a dog on the field. And I think the Arizona Cardinals got a good player. I do think they need to figure out like maybe a middle ground, because as we see, and one of the guys in the chat says he might not be in Madden this year because he didn't agree to contract. Maybe just moving weird. For fans, of course, you want to see him in Madden. You want to buy his jersey, but the business aspect of that has to be right at the same time. Maury, what's your opinion on this situation? Like, what kind of like gets your antennas up about this whole deal?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what both of y'all saying. Like, it's some fanatics having too much dip on their chip, and it's like, if you want to be, I guess, like respected as like the big dog, you kind of got to move like that. And this, I would equate this to like if this was college and you got like a verbal commitment to go to Alabama. Alabama's probably going to sleep thinking like, oh, we got that. Like that's whatever. So if you go do something else, they're not thinking you're gonna go do that. So like I talked about, somebody else probably offered to pay him more money. And he like, all right, cool. Well, since I didn't sign nothing with y'all, I'm about to go over here and do this. But again, if you have his signature on something, just show us. Like, just go ahead. Just like put that out. Like Kendrick Lamar and Drake just showed you, bro. Like we'll respect the facts, man. Like you show us some concrete proof, we'll probably side with you. But in this case, I'm with Marv, and I can say that now because he's not wearing that putrid uniform anymore. So I can say I side with him. Definitely. Like I'm just not with it. I think they bullshit. That's what I think.
Bang, man. What you think about this thing? What kind of like sparked this view?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where we just got to be careful of, we don't know what's in the lawsuit, like outside of, just the actual paperwork. So we don't know what they have. You got to go through the legal process. But I will say that this Marvin Harrison Jr. situation, he's been moving weird since he announced that he was leaving Ohio State and going to the NFL. And matter of fact, I'll change the wording to just moving differently. These are things that people are not used to, but still people have the right to look at it and raise an eyebrow and like, okay, man, what's really going on? You have not even played a down in the NFL, and you could be a generational talent all you want to. That don't mean it's going to translate on the field. Talent is good right now, but then you got to get on the field. What happens if you get injured? What happened? I mean, hell, what happened if you're just dealing with a situation where you're just not getting the best out of who's throwing the ball, your coaching situation? Like, he can be a generational talent all day long, but he still got to produce on the field. So for somebody who has not produced on the NFL field, it's a lot of questions business-wise that is now starting to raise some people eyebrow around him. I do think he's going to be a great talent. So I'm not necessarily worried about it, but where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
So you do have to look at the business practices and see like what is really going on. And considering who his dad is, off the field stuff.
Allegedly
over there. But considering who his dad is, we've heard more about Marvin Harrison Jr. than we've heard about his daddy on the field.
Yeah.
So that's even interesting. Like, maybe Marvin saw some shit when he was a player that he was like, I'm not going to let my son go through. That's also cool too. Or maybe because of NIL and stuff, there's some loopholes that people are seeing. It's very interesting, but I'm a where there's smoke, there's fire guy. So it's something off about this situation. And same thing with Fanatics. It's something about this situation where this could be open and shut. This could literally be a situation like, all right, when we get in the court, it's like, okay, here's everything right now. Y'all got to honor y'all contracts. What are y'all doing? And when you look at it from a business standpoint, it could turn some people off, which means he need to catch 120 balls, 1,400 yards, and a playoff berth from the Cardinals before somebody start looking at Buddy ass crazy.
This is definitely an episode of Ballers before that show went on. This is definitely like a Spencer Strassmore situation to deal with. But let's get to our next topic. Reeta, the last time we had you on, I think it was like right before the Ravens divisional playoff game that you guys won. Since then, you guys have added Derrick Henry, running back Lamar Jackson won his second MVP. Schedule dropped last week.
I don't like that. That was very shady. That was very shady of you. Very shady. I caught it. That was very shady of you.
I was just stating that he won the MVP, and there was nothing else to it.
It's very shady.
He lost to my boy Pat, but I wasn't gonna go there. We were just gonna.
And Pat had more running attempts than Lamar.
Okay,
and had more rushing attempts than Lamar. So running back, okay.
Here's actually a couple of questions I wanted to ask you about it. Do you think that in that game that Lamar either went rogue or John Harbaugh was just like, yo, we're going to make you throw the football because everybody said that you can't throw the football? Do you think that was something that happened?
No, that is the latter did not happen. Okay, I can tell you that now. The latter did not happen. The former happened. I believe that they went into the game with a game plan of, running the football and whatever. And then, once they saw how the Chiefs were moving down the field on the defense, which, by the way, the defense played extremely well. And it's like a half gave up no points.
Yeah.
That they just kind of panicked and threw everything out the book. If anything, I blame Harbaugh more so for being a guy that doesn't put his foot down and doesn't cuss people out, because he clearly said at halftime that they needed to run the ball more. So that didn't happen. 6 times is protrude for a team that's number 1 in rush offense. I think the Lamar hears the chatter, just like you called him a running back just now. He hears all of that. And I think that, I think he thinks that he can change the narrative if he wins the game, a big game, a certain way. And I think Lamar just got to say, fuck all that. I think at some point he got to win the way that he knows how to win best. And if that includes utilizing your legs, then that's what you have to do. And until he honors and accepts his superpower, because that's what makes Lamar special. That this is going to continue to happen, which is getting close, but then no cigar. So.
Well, let's talk about this year's version of the Ravens. So the schedule came out last week. 2-part question for you. One, I'm one of the people I enjoy when the schedule comes out. Like, I enjoy it because it's a fun thing. I'm NFL obsessed. And since I became a member of the media, I like to see how much these hotels and flights gonna cost to these cities I gotta go through. But we have some people that's like, well, it's just a schedule. Why are you caring about it so much? What do you feel about the actual schedule release? Rollout that the NFL has, and what do you specifically think about the Ravens schedule this year?
As a person that I'm like you, I just want to get my flights and I just want to get my hotels. I hate the schedule release. Hate because now airlines have gotten hip to it. They hike the prices like way up, you know what I'm saying? And they price gouge, and I hate that. I remember a couple years ago, they used to drop it like a Beyonce album in the middle of the night. Like, here's the schedule release. And then you'd be like, oh, okay. And I miss that. And I understand that the NFL is a machine. They want all the money. Okay. So if they know that they can rip off some company by giving them commercial times, for a schedule release, that's what they're going to do. So while I understand the business portion of it, I don't love it for a number of reasons. And again, the price gouging right after really just it's just egregious as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the schedule of the Ravens, I mean, we've all heard like they have the second hardest schedule going into the season. Now, this is us having this conversation before a snap has even been played in the regular season, because they have 10 playoff teams that they're playing, and we all know that things change, injuries change teams. There's a lot of things that could change over a course of an NFL season. They ended the season last year playing the second hardest schedule in the National Football League. And, now they're starting off allegedly doing that, but we just got to see how this all plays out, because it could go from second hardest to third easiest, just based on a couple of unfortunate injuries. You know what I'm saying? So looking at the schedule, and we talked about this on my radio show on Sunday, you look at it and you're curious to see, how this is going to unfold. And I put them at the 11-6 mark. I think that they are going to downgrade just a little bit. It reminds me a lot of the 2011, 2012 Ravens, where the 2011 team was actually better than the Super Bowl team the year after. And they actually had won 2 more games. 4 and 10-6 they were in 2012, and essentially they go and win the Super Bowl. But sometimes things like that happen. They've lost defensive coordinator. They've lost a couple of guys in free agency. So I do expect them to kind of go through their lumps and bumps, because they have a new defensive coordinator. We know that, star players don't play in preseason anymore. Essentially, everybody's afraid to allow their teams to play. So the first 3 games, essentially a preseason game for everybody. You know what I mean? And that's unfortunate, because that's one of the hardest parts of their schedule, the first 5 weeks. But ultimately, I think that at least in the regular season, okay, we can have a conversation about Harbs, we can have a conversation about Lamar and whoever else in the postseason, and it can be valid. But at least in the regular season, Harbaugh is one of the better coaches, and Lamar plays at an extremely high level when he's healthy. So I think that they'll scale down a little bit, but I think that they can somehow come out with 11 wins. And, if they make the playoffs again, which, I mean, obviously I would expect that if Lamar is healthy. Right. You paid Derrick Henry too much money to only give somebody 6 carries if you make it to the playoffs. I don't know who I got to talk to, but running the football is going to get you to a championship, okay? Not throwing the football. So Derrick Henry is going to have to be what you paid him to be in order to advance and go to New Orleans. I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't know who I got to yell the shit to the mountaintop to, but you better ride the horse and King Henry, and that's the way that you're going to be able to ride this playoffs, period.
Well, speaking of that, that's part of my question. We haven't talked, since free agency and the draft. So we got King Henry that's over there. So, for a running back room that's went through a lot of injury these last couple of years, it feels like that's an unfair backfield. In Chicago, we would call that a slaughter. If you have somebody like him and Lamar in the same backfield. But then also looking at the draft class, y'all went cornerback a couple of times with Nate Wiggins being the first round pick. Got some offensive line help. Y'all also went running back. We're seeing Allen. Like how have you liked the Ravens off season so far? And do you think that you guys at least have the starting pieces to get you guys over the hump against the Chiefs? And speaking of schedules, you got somebody like the Bengals in your division who has the weakest schedule in the NFL. So, are y'all a little bit worried in division as well?
You always have to be worried in the division of the AFC North, because it is a very strong division. And last year, I actually said on our podcast at When They Drive that I thought that the Browns would be second to the Ravens in the division, and I ended up being right. Now, I know that Joe Burrow got hurt, but I would have made that pick regardless. I felt like the Browns had the key pieces to actually play well, and they did. Obviously, we know they went to the playoffs. And you had 3 teams in the AFC North go to the playoffs. So, yeah, you got to be concerned. And the reason why you see that the Ravens went to cornerback twice in the draft is because, they feel like that this is the NFL that is prevalent to passing the football, and they want their secondary to always be one of the best secondaries in the National Football League. That is something that they're going to pride themselves on. In terms of, do I think that they are built to potentially beat the Chiefs? I don't know. They've only done it once, since the Lamar / Patrick Mahomes era has started, and that was in a close game at home. And so they're going to start the season in Kansas City. And I will say that Harbaugh is exceptionally well in week 1 games. And we also saw Kansas City lose last year to the Detroit Lions as well. So it's not like it's out of the realm, but you got to figure out what it is that you want to do, who you want to be first and foremost. You got to be who you are. And you're never going to win football games against a team like the Chiefs if you want to be somebody that you're not, which that's who they were in that AFC Championship game. But also, while I think that the Ravens have done well in the draft, and they did what they needed to do in free agency by bringing Kyle Van Noy back, they still have a lot of question marks at pass rusher, because you got a guy like Odafe Owe who, while has played well, he's played well in everything else that the Ravens like. But the biggest thing they wanted him to do was rush the passer, and that's one of the things that he's not done well with. Although he's done well with everything else, stealing the edge and getting pressure, but the actual getting to the quarterback has been problematic for him. And then David Ajabo, who I'm sure Mari knows from Michigan, he hasn't been able to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? And I remember seeing him in Michigan. He was a top 15 prospect, and yet he just can't see the field because he had an Achilles injury, and then he had a knee injury last year. So there's a lot of question marks from their pass rush perspective. So you're going to need to make Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable. You do have a good interior defensive line, so maybe that can help you up front. But overall, they didn't do much to upgrade their linebacking core, in my opinion, Kansas City. And then they lost Jadarius Sneed. So you need to find a way to pound and ground, pause, or whatever. But also, you just got to find a way to, just run it down their throats. And then, while they are very well coached from a secondary perspective, they did lose one of their best cornerbacks. So trying to figure out maybe who your third wide receiver can be to expose the mismatch, I think it's possible. It's just they gotta know who they are going into week 1. That's the only way you're gonna know how to win. So
yeah, I think those week 1 games are probably the best opportunity to get the Chiefs too. The champs is that
absolutely.
night. Banner going up, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. Taylor Swift might be there. They may be talking about stuff like that all day. Knock them in the mouth right away. You know what I'm saying? Just get them out the way, show off Derrick Henry and start the season off the best way. Because I kind of feel like, all the eyes are on the Chiefs. They've got all these, not regular season, but standalone games. Everybody wants to see if they can complete the three-peat. If I'm the Ravens, I'm like, look, I want to let them know, last year, we didn't run the ball enough. We gonna knock y'all off real well and carry this on because you brought up the Lions. That carried the Lions. Lions had a great season. If we can beat the champs, we can definitely take care of everybody else going there. Before we go to, I want to get your opinion on Bills. I just had to ask Mari this because I'm an asshole. As a fan of the Giants, did you care about the schedule coming out last week?
Of course, I had to see. So I've been living down here in Atlanta since 2012. So I just had to see when they was coming down here because I knew they was playing the Falcons on the road. So I just had to see what when they was coming down here. But aside from that, listen, dog, this is what love looks like, man. I allow them to hurt me. I allow this every single year. This is just what it is. My relationship with my football team is toxic. It's whatever you want to call it, man. You know what I'm saying? We could have a reality show about this shit and people will be like, I don't know why he doesn't just fucking leave. They clearly don't love him. why is he? You know what I'm saying? They think I'm in this shit for the money or something like that if we was on the show. But yeah, I care, man. I'm gonna always care about that shit. I signed up for this.
Malik Neighbors after one OTA practice with Daniel Jones, like, you know what, I'm gonna call Jaden and we gonna end that bet. Like,
you know what? I'll let that rock because it was just a great joke on social media. But it's the gambling rules, like that. Hate to
okay.
Actually, you know what I'm saying. But I didn't actually this shit on Twitter because that's a great.
Yeah, you can't actually on Twitter.
Yeah, that was a great joke, bro. Like that was an incredible joke because like as soon as he was like, you know what, how about we just call that square just right now?
How about we just get that out the way right now? We are Chicagoans with me and Bangor, which means in our world only the Bears exist, which has got to be a poor world if only the Bears exist. But anyway, last time we had you on, we were asking you like, which way you think it should go, Justin, Caleb. This is like maybe 2 months. Actually, it was about 2 months before the Justin trade. Since then, a lot has happened. Justin Fields is in your division now. Caleb Williams is a Bear. He keep trying to get that bear claw thing going off. He didn't. Every pitch I see with this nigga, he got the bear claw going off. When I was at rookie mini camp 2 weeks ago, that's all the nigga was doing. And by the way, I gotta say this about the Bears. I gotta say this, y'all gotta get into the new media room. Like the Bears got 2 like interview rooms because we've had a lot of national media over there, and I was all the way in the back. I couldn't get a question off. I got cut off like 5-6 times. I was trying to go viral, ask about Kendrick and Drake, and they cut me off like 4 times. So they need to get bigger rooms. But since then, you got Caleb, Romadunze got drafted, Keenan Allen got traded for. A lot of big expectations here in Chicago. Now we have ours as Bears fans, Bears media. What our expectations are as an outsider. What do you think about the Bears all season? The situation that Ryan Poles has put Caleb Williams in, and what do you expect from the Bears?
I like it, man. I like what y'all have done. I'm a big Keenan Allen fan. I actually wanted him when the Chargers cut him, so I was very disappointed that they didn't have the opportunity to get him. But when you look at what that wide receiver room looks like now with Adunze, him and DJ Moore, like you really like it. What's the guy's name that y'all traded for from Washington that you signed a long contract to?
Montez Sweat.
Thank you. I love him. Love that. I think that Sweat is a great player. I definitely feel like that they have tried to set Caleb up in terms of having the weapons. I'm not really familiar about what your offensive line is going to look like, but we know that Caleb knows how to scramble. He knows how to, make plays with his feet. He can extend the play. So even if it is something that might be a weak point of your offense, we know that he can, make something out of nothing, which is important. But I'm excited to see what the Bears are going to do this year. I mean, I don't know what that means, but I obviously think that they're going to be better than what they've been in years past immediately, just based on some of the moves that they made this off season. So, it's funny because like you look at the division and the Lions just went to the NFC Championship, and you got the Packers with Jordan Love, and so I don't know where they fit in, like in the division in that regard, but I think that they have so much promise and so much talent. I know you don't want to put all of that on a rookie quarterback, right, but even though you don't feel like Caleb is generational, I think from the outside, a lot of people do consider Caleb is generational. So they're going to assume that he's going to have to produce something, early in his career, is starting now. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I'm definitely going to be watching a lot of Bears games because, I like Caleb Williams. I'm not from the DMV. We're from Baltimore. It's 2 different things. However, I followed the kid when he was down here, because he's from Maryland. So, I followed his career for a little bit. So I'm just curious to see, how that's going to go, and with a Maryland guy and DJ Moore. And so, yeah, I'm excited for y'all. I just think that, I don't think that y'all expectations is going to be like, oh, we got to make it to the playoffs. But I also think that, as long as you see the trajectory trending up and that the future is bright, it just feels like it's about to be some fun times in the shop, man. Well, I hate saying the shop because I know I hate it. So,
well, the Shy is better than Shy
whatever
Town.
y'all be saying about Chicago.
Yeah, the Shy.
Okay,
The
all
Shy,
right, cool.
Yeah.
Shot Town. You say Shot Town or Shot
All right,
Rack.
cool.
It's like
I'm Bang. I'm gonna let you.
I don't think so. Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Bang. I'm gonna let you take the lane on the playoff thing because I saw how your face changed.
oh yeah, we going to the playoffs. Oh, we going to the playoffs. That's
Hey,
my
man.
expectation.
Listen,
My
here's the thing,
expectation.
though, right? Here's the thing: the NFC is the AFC is the gauntlet. When you look at the AFC is the gauntlet. So the NFC does make it more available and ready to really have somebody come in and make a playoff push, right? We've seen that. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised. You know, they literally add an extra wild card. If somehow, some way, the Bears end up 9-8, I don't see how they, won't make the playoffs because, like I said, the NFC is just so wide open. You really don't know outside of San Francisco. Like, we can sit here and say San Francisco. You could. Last year we said Philly, but we saw what happened with Philly. Last year they dud it out. So it's an opportunity to me for anybody in the NFC to come out and be in a playoff contender. So if they go 9-8, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I think for me, 9-8 is like my barometer for me not to be upset because I think last year with a lot of Bears fans is we were 7-10 and we left 3 wins on the table. Like historic. You win 99% of those time, all 3 of those games, and I think that with the lighter schedule, with just from the feeling in the building, like you said, Reeta, it's preseason, not even preseason, it's early. OTAs just started this week. It ain't nobody played nothing, but this is my 4th season covering the team, and then the Ryan Poles era. There's been is before it used to be like it was no clarity. Now it's like everybody's on one accord. Everybody's like, no, this is the goal. It's different. And Caleb, I've only watched one practice of Caleb, and I don't want to get too high off my own supply of a practice with only cones and no defense coming at him. But when Justin was here, we never heard about, he's killing the playbook. I never heard that, like, ever. I heard that in practice 1. So it's like, Caleb comes in, he's prepared. And one thing I will say, too, about this is I feel like we're kind of like in a golden era right now of, like, young Chicago sports stars. Like, Angel Reese is a superstar already. Like, Angel Reese is, like, being brought out. Yeah, at the Glorilla concert, like, you got Lotto coming out to see her in Dallas. She's already like, I went downtown. There's nothing but Angel Reese pictures downtown. Like, she's only played 2 games. Yeah, so she's a superstar, and Caleb and Rome and Keenan coming out to the first Chicago Sky preseason game. I think you're gonna see all of that in the city kind of come together. And Caleb, not to say that Justin's personality is just more reserved, quiet. Like, he's not a bad dude. Like, he's just somebody who's just chilling. Caleb has an extroverted personality, and I think that the city is gonna like the media. At the beginning, of course, I still want to see how Wednesday goes when he going one-on-one Mark Potash after like a loss to the Packers or something like that. But he so far it's looked well, so I think the expectations are there. Mari, I just want to get your opinion, and we go to the last one. I know Reeta, you got to get up out of here. Mari, what's your opinion on what the Bears have been building? Because we don't have an Ohio State quarterback anymore, so I don't have to get the
Won't he do it? You know what I'm saying? But I think obviously, like, if you are a Bears fan, bro, like, the expectation should be playoffs, like, minimum. Like, it has to be, because let's just say Caleb Williams has anything similar to like a CJ Stroud kind of performance this season, right? With all of the weapons they have in place, which I think that Ryan Poles and this new generation, this new regime, learned from the Justin Fields shit and was like, okay, look, this is how we gonna do shit moving forward, right? Like, we can't worry about yesterday. We got to move forward with it. You got to be excited. Like, on paper, this is a great offseason for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to see later on, like, how this develops and what it looks like win-loss wise and playoff success and things like that. But I mean, I think you have to say that this is a great offseason, even if you are a fan of a division rival. You got to be like, damn. Nah, they got busy this year. You know what I mean? Like you have to. That's y'all did some shit over there. And like you said, most importantly, y'all got that guy from that school out of there. So shout out to y'all.
Hey, man, I just feel like it's a different energy, and like it just feels different. Like, of course, we don't know how that translates on the field, but
Joe was saying y'all got to change his on-field swag, and I agree because he out there.
I'm gonna give him. I think that was just for the Fanatics event. I'm gonna throw him, shoot him some bells.
I hope so, man, because like just
it looks swaggerless.
Yeah, it's a little,
Let's I just gonna play this one game real quick, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay.
So I just want to kind of go over like the playoff teams from last year, and Reeta, get your opinion, Mark, get your opinion on who you think from the playoff bracket isn't going to make the playoffs, like kind of like a step back, and who from the teams who didn't make the playoffs are gonna feel those playoff spots. So in the NFC last year, obviously had the San Francisco 49ers. They won the NFC, the Detroit Lions, Baker Mayfield, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Jordan Love and the Packers, the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now in the AFC, obviously Chiefs won the whole thing. Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, Buffalo Bills, Pittsburgh Steelers, Miami Dolphins, and the Cleveland Browns. Reeta, who do you think from these teams are gonna kind of take a step back? And from the playoff teams, from the teams who did make the playoffs, who you think can fill those spots in the postseason?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Taking a step back. I'm trying to think in the NFC who I want to get rid of. I was thinking the Rams because they kind of they kind of barely got in there. I want to say the Cowboys, but they got talent, dog, but they don't have running back. They still need running back help.
They brought Zeke back.
Zeke back. Old as shit. And old. Okay. So I want to Philly. I mean, Philly signed everybody. If they don't go to the playoffs, dog, then something's wrong because they signed. I'll say the Bucks. So I'll say the Rams and the Bucks. I'll take them out the equation. I'll take them out, and I'll say the Bears.
That's what I like to hear.
You think about who else that
Atlanta probably
potential. Yeah, because of Kirk Cousins. Yeah,
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, they ain't gonna go far. He'll get you to the playoffs, but they ain't gonna do nothing. So, yes, I'll give you Chicago and Atlanta just based on their quarterback play and their offensive help. I'll do that. For the AFC, I just never believe in Miami. I mean, I get it. They got all fast motherfuckers, and I understand. Like, I get it. But I just feel like they'll always find a way to mess it up. So I'll take them out the equation, and I got to take somebody out the AFC North out of the equation. So it's going to be between the Browns and the Steelers. And for now, I'll say the Steelers because they got Russell Wilson, which I think he got something left. I don't think that he's dead, but
you don't think Justin Fields is going to start this year?
Nah, probably not. I think they're gonna just kind of let him sit back and wing it. They're gonna let him sit back and maybe take some punts or something. But they don't really have a situation. They do got tight ends, but they traded Deontay Johnson, so I don't know who's gonna be on the opposite side of dude from Georgia. So Pickett. So I don't know where Pickens. I said Pickett. Pickens. So I don't know where that's gonna go. So I'll take the Steelers out, and I'll add. I guess I gotta add the Bengals back in, right?
Yep.
Gotta put the Bengals back in if Joe Burrow is healthy. And then in the AFC, let me think about this. Oh, geez. Like my brain's trying to look. I'm trying to think real fast. Like who's in the other?
Oh, are we trusting QAnon Aaron Rodgers?
Nah, man.
QA. Are we trusting QA Ron?
Right, exactly.
I can trust him to. He can play football, but I mean, he literally plays on a field that is going to have his eye aching every single time he hits that field. So that's my concern. Like, can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
But yeah, let's say he does. Yes, let's say he does. I'd go probably with the Jets because I don't believe the Jaguars either. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but remember so they should have won the division. Period. And then shit the pot. So yeah, I just don't, and I don't really buy anybody from the AFC West outside of
the Chiefs.
John Harbaugh. Yes, Colts is there. Colts actually, I changed that. I will change the Jets for the Colts because my guy Richardson is going to be back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I'll go with the Colts because I think that they got their quarterback situation should be good.
Mari, who you got in and who you got out from this last year's bracket?
Real quick before I even get to that, if y'all been paying attention, that accent coming out of there a couple of times. I heard it twice for sure. For sure, I heard it twice.
I told you.
Yeah. I've been peeping. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go with that as well. I think Tampa Bay is probably out of there. Mike Evans will probably still get 1,000 yards because he's Mike Evans, but I think Tampa Bay is probably out of there. I think that I don't know, man. AFC, I wanted to say Buffalo because this year they kind of got forgotten about, and they made it in there, and then it was right out of there, grand opening, grand closing. But I think part of me still trust Josh Allen. Don't ask me why. I just do. And so I'm not gonna say them. I'll go with Pittsburgh as well. I'll probably say they out of there. And a surprise, I think the Chargers will probably get in this year. I do. And you can, listen, of course, I like
Michigan bias.
Come on, man. It's a little bit of the bias showing. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like he's gonna get over there and they'll probably win some of those games that they should have won. Like they lose a decent amount of games that they should win, and he'll probably change that. Like that, I can see them getting in. NFC. Damn, like what team? I don't know, man. The NFC just doesn't. Whoever, like you said, Chicago. I'm gonna say Chicago. Listen, and this is not anybody listening. We're not doing this because Scott is like we would love to have jokes about on Scott about his team. Love to. Y'all see if y'all would see the type of stuff that we text to each other, that I would love
nothing
more than
right here. I'm gonna miss the Bears being bad. The 79th and Hallis episodes after the Bears lost.
Listen, 1,000,000%, bro. I could always count on the Bears lost how? Oh, I'm firing that episode up first tomorrow.
Y'all don't want me to be happy. Y'all want me to be sad for content.
But yeah, I'm gonna say Chicago on the NFC. I'm gonna say they're probably a playoff lock. Like if Caleb Williams comes in and performs the way that we expect him to, that everybody expects him to, I'm gonna say that they're a playoff lock. NFC and AFC. Give me the Chargers.
All right. Reeta, always great to have you on here to talk some football with you. Let them know where they get in tune with you, everything you got going on, and just where they can get into, where they can follow you at.
Yeah, so thank y'all for having me. I love coming on here. Hopefully I'll be back when football season starts. But you can reach me at the NFL Chick on all platforms, at Gridiron Gals. That is GALS. That's myself and my best friend Charles. We talk about college football as well as NFL. And also, if you're in the Baltimore area, or if you're not, but you can go on the app or the website as well. I'm on 105.7 The Fan, Tuesday nights from 7 to 9 and Sundays from 12 to 3. You're on the Odyssey app or Odyssey website, 105.7 The Fan. So thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all so much. And hopefully we'll have more conversations about Caleb and them sometime this NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely looking forward to that. We definitely will have you back on when the NFL season comes around. Good to holler at you. All right, so we're gonna go to our. Oh shit, that's my fault. Bad editing on my part. I ain't mean to cut off like that. But we got Pat Vito in the house.
My man, how you feeling?
Hey, Pat, okay, bang with the picture right away.
Yeah, you already know. I've been waiting. Pat
Vito in the house. Courtesy The Bachelor episode 1 streaming right now.
It is out. Go check it out.
On Pav's YouTube, on the Barbershare YouTube. Check that out. Pav, how you feeling, brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Long night, long weekend, but I'm good.
How was
I
your?
can tell, nigga.
Hey man, I meant to text this. I meant to ask. Were you looking like the Kevin Hart meme when they played Not Like Us and Watch Party like 5 times? I saw it on hella niggas Instagrams.
Yes. Because I heard it the whole weekend. I'm trying to think like when exactly I heard it. Like, yeah, that shit hurt my heart, bro.
They
Everybody
played
took
it at
over,
LA
that shit hurt my heart,
Function
bro.
8 times in a row. I saw one girl I know 8 times in a row. Like
That
it
should
was
be hurting my heart.
niggas.
And then again, we live in I'm in LA, so it's worse because it's LA. That should be hurting my heart, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He was in there like the Kevin Hart man. I don't want to hear this. But let's just get right into this NBA talk, man. Big weekend in the NBA. The conference finals are finally set. Conference finals kick off tomorrow in Boston with the Boston Celtics taking on the Indiana Pacers. And the Western Conference starts on Wednesday, kicking off in Minneapolis. Who would have thought we'd be saying that 7 months ago? Well, Minnesota Timberwolves will be hosting Luka and Kyrie and the Dallas Mavericks. But my question to you, Pavy, and to everybody on this esteemed panel, have the narratives in this playoffs been better than the actual games? Because I feel like there's probably only been about 4 or 5 games that have been actually great. Pav, what do you think about these playoffs? Yeah, have it been more story more than it actually been good?
I think it's you about 60-40 story and narratives. I think every series the Knicks have been involved with has been fire. Just the way they play basketball and the way that just every series that the Knicks has been in has been pretty fire. I think the OKC Maverick series was dope. I think that Nuggets Timberwolves I enjoyed it, but I think obviously like the best basketball was Game 7. But I did enjoy the series. But yes, I do think the narratives this playoff have been slightly a little bit better than the basketball. But that's not a bad thing. I think the narratives have been this way because we haven't had a repeat champion in 6 years.
Yep.
And you have like teams that are doing things that they haven't done in a while. Like Indiana hasn't been in this position in literally a decade. Boston, the unfortunate thing about I guess the Eastern Conference in general is that the Bucks were hurt. The Sixers were hurt. So, I guess some of the stars and the people that you wanted to see play didn't get a chance to play. So, it kind of seems like Boston they have been running through people. But, Dallas, you haven't seen that. Well, you've seen them 2 years ago, but I think that, this time Dallas actually seems like
for real. Nobody thought it was going to beat the Warriors.
Nobody thought it was going to beat the Warriors. This is whoa, they actually might be able to make an actual a finals run, or even just, seeing guys like PJ Washington step up and play a pivotal role in this team winning. So, yes, I do think the narratives have been slightly better than the basketball, but that's not a bad thing. I think the narratives are this way because, we've said it all season, but it's literally like a changing of the guard in the league. Look at the people that we've thought that would be there for the past 10, 15 years are nowhere to be found. The Warriors, not nowhere. LeBron, not nowhere. KD, not no. Giannis ain't even there. Yes, I do think the narratives have been slightly better than the basketball, but I don't think that's a bad thing this year.
Maury, what you think about these storylines? Have they storylines been better in the games? Or how you feeling on that?
A little bit. I think I agree with Pavy on that a little bit. But with the basketball shit, it's like the teams that we expected to win aren't winning. So it's like it's actually been a little bit better than people have been giving it credit for. Because a lot of times you get tired of seeing the same teams in there all the time. You look at these teams like Indiana that's coming up, if they can do XYZ, they can get to a conference finals. They can do this, whatever. And now this shit is happening. So that like you said, the Knicks series fired. Even when the Clippers was playing, I've been enjoying, the basketball and shit. It's just the blowouts, of course, is gonna make you look at this shit a different way. But this is what's been going on with the NBA all season. This is just the product now. You know what I'm saying? I think we just got to get used to that's just what it is. A lot of times you think that's going to kind of balance itself out in the playoffs because people turn they play up to a different level and you lock in a little different, but it is what it is. Minnesota, coming back from being down a dub and then winning that game, that might have been the best game I've seen in the playoffs so far. Just period, many series so far. But I've enjoyed the basketball though. It's I'm not really mad at it. Like you said, the narratives and everything like that. That's gonna happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just more information come out. This shit is going. It's just how it's gonna be for the foreseeable future. But I'm not really mad at the basketball. You know what I mean? So like you said, 60-40. I'm right there with it.
Bang. What's your take on that?
Like I said last week, the blowouts go from people, teams practicing self-preservation. If I know I'm down by a certain amount at a certain time, I know I ain't coming back. So let's go ahead and pull everybody out, and then we go from there. Now, with that being said, though, I had said that I feel like that game 7 was going to be one of the best game 7s that we've seen since game 7 was Cleveland, versus Golden State. And I think it damn near led up to the billing, because anytime you're down 20 points and that team come back, and matter of fact, I went to the doctor today, and my doctor was like, did you see the game? They go to
I was at the DMV today.
Nigga went to Will Smith.
That was a white dude in the line. He came up to the dude at the window. He said, "You see the game last night? Man, that fucking Anthony Edwards. He has no class. He has no class." I was like, "Yep, they got the whites, man.
They got him. There we go.
We back, baby. We back."
My doctor was like, "Did you see Denver versus Minnesota? Oh my god! Oh my god! I cannot believe they came back. When did that happen? Like literally."
I'm waiting for you to say your doctor said, "Tell the truth."
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. But no, I was looking at the game, and we had some company over last night. It's like, oh, it's damn about 20. We just gonna talk to y'all. And then, like, I looked at the score again. And I was like, when the fuck did they come back? Like this, and not only did they come back, they was up by 10 at one point. So it's like, yo, they pretty much dominated that, and it just made everything excited for that game. With that being said, no, I like this playoffs. The best thing I like about this playoffs is the fact that we are going to get a new champion. It's nothing against Denver, but we are used to teams winning titles in a row, and there's like a lot of people in the NBA that don't have a ring because of Michael Jordan. I like parity. I like being able to see other teams get a chance. I like the competition aspect of it too. So as long like these teams are more even than we think. I think the whole thing about like Boston running away with it and people, no, the one thing I can say about these playoffs is that, hey man, you just plain and simple got to hoop in order to win this. There's not a dominant team, so to speak, outside of Boston. It's just simply who they've been going up against. But even in that Cleveland game, they won, and then they looked good the day that the first game that Donovan Mitchell was out. We had said on here, oh man, they playing hard for LeBron. Hey, all right, so what? They playing hard. So that's what I like about it. And now looking at the Eastern and the Western Conference Finals, we definitely gonna get some ball. We definitely going to see some hooping, and I'm excited.
I think that, there's been some bad games. I won't say it's been a great postseason, but I think just because we're watching the changing of the guard, that it's been even the blowouts I can tolerate because it's new storylines. Like, I don't know about y'all. I hated the 3 in a row, 4 in a row of Warriors Cavs every year, mainly because we knew the Cavs was going to get washed because the Dak was just so stacked, against Cleveland that we knew it wasn't going to be an enjoyable series. Now, I enjoyed it because I got to see LeBron fans cry for the rest of the summer. So on the petty side, I enjoyed it. But as a basketball fan, it wasn't entertaining. So to have these new stories and everybody was saying, oh, the NBA needs parity. NBA needs parity. We're in the parity here. Like you just said, Pav, ain't no Bron. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no Steph. We catching videos of Steph walking out of Target with golf clubs, nigga. Like ain't no Giannis, ain't no nothing. It's nothing but young bucks in this thing. So I think even though maybe the storyline's been a little better, it's still been entertaining for me personally, man. So speaking of that, let's talk about game 7 last night. The Nuggets lost at the reigning champions. Their run is over. Like you just said, Pat, this will be a new champion for the 6th year in a row. We have not had a repeat champion since the 2018 Golden State Warriors. And we're officially back in the 70s, I believe, like where, everybody having a chance. In fact, there hasn't been a champion who made the Western Conference Finals since the Warriors in 2019, 5 years ago, before the world ended in 2020. So it's been that long of a time. So you got this run of the Minnesota Timberwolves where this is a team who they lost in the first round last year to the defending champion Denver Nuggets. And a story came out last night. Dave McMenamin, ESPN, he covers the Lakers, but he's on coverage for that series last night. And he put a story about how when the Nuggets eliminated the Wolves last year. The Wolves went to this local bar in Denver to, drown their sorrows, and they ran into Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray just happened to be there. Anthony Edwards told him, "We gonna get y'all niggas next year," and Jamal Murray laughed at him. Well, who laughing now, nigga? So you got this entire year, everything that's been going with them on and off the court, because we can't forget about the big battle going off the court between A-Rod and Glenn Taylor for who's going to be majority owner of the Timberwolves, to knocking out a team and sweeping the Phoenix Suns, beating the defending champions, and now they have a legitimate shot to go to the NBA championship. Pat, my question for you is this: what do you think this story tells about like where the league is going, as far as like all the different overhaul, where you got a team last year looked like the Nuggets were going to rain off a couple more. Now, you did say on the show a couple weeks ago, this team reminded you of the 09 Cavs, so you're probably not as shocked right now about last night's outcome. But what do you feel about this run that the Minnesota Timberwolves had this year?
One, I like the style of basketball. I think, I think that in, the 2010s, small ball kind of got prioritized. Well, not kind of got, small ball did get prioritized. And I feel like we're kind of in the era of bigs again. I think people don't really realize it because it's not like, it's not like the Hakeem Olajuwons and David Robinsons, but I mean, look at the Timberwolves. Like, they have three big guys, Cat, Rudy, and Naz Reid, who all play a pivotal role. And they built that team off defense. I love Ant. I think Ant is incredible. Ant is the last hope for American basketball. We are cooked after Anthony Edwards, but defense is what's winning the Timberwolves these games, not so much Anthony Edwards. I love Ant though, but defense is what winning these is what's winning these games. And also, I think people have to go back to team building and actually legitimate building teams. Like the people that the Minnesota Timberwolves have, Jaden McDaniels picked him, Anthony Edwards picked him, made a good trade for Mike Conley. Obviously, you picked Karl Anthony Towns a decade ago, as many times where maybe you think you could have traded him off and maybe got some other assets, but you picked him. You made a good deal for Rudy Gobert. Naz Reid wasn't even drafted. You signed Nickeil Alexander Walker. You picked up Cal Anderson. Even Nuggets, that team is homegrown and home built. You took these guys, you got them, you cultivated them, you got them in the system, and you see what the Nuggets did last year, and even what they did somewhat to an extent this year. But in general, I just think team building is back. Like, even again, you go to the Pacers, you go to the Mavericks. Like, it's not like you just putting a whole bunch of superstars together and being like, yo, go win the game, like the Suns did. When you just, well, in theory, they put three superstars together. It's like, yo, go win the game. Or like, you're not in that era anymore. You're in the era of you have to go out there and legit build actual teams. And obviously with the second apron thing, I think it's going to even make it harder in the future to build actual teams. It's probably going to be harder for you to see repeat champions. Like, the only team that I think should possibly repeat if they get there is the Celtics. Like, the Celtics are set up where, like, if they do win, I think that could be a team that you could win 1, 2, maybe 3, just when I look at the Eastern Conference, because I don't really see that the team that's coming behind them that's like, all right, next year we know this team is the team that we really have something to look out for. But yeah, I just think team building, I think, is the main thing that you're learning from this playoffs. Like I said, building an actual team and cultivating them, and then also the big guys, man, the bigs that played a huge role in these playoffs. And I think that, again, we're moving towards the era of more bigs. It's just like, it's not like the post game from the 90s, but it's definitely some really, really good quality bigs out here that are having a huge impact on how these series are being won.
And you got to give credit to Tim Connolly. He's the general manager of Minnesota Timberwolves. He also built the Denver Nuggets. He's part of bringing Aaron Gordon over there, making them champions they are now. And Joker even said in his post game last night, he said they were built to beat us. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, nobody knows how to destroy you than the person who put you together. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knew the weaknesses and things like that. And I'm with you too. Like, it's just a very well put together team. And the thing that makes Ant great is not just offensively. Ant can
competes. He competes defensively.
He guards. Had a rough game. Everybody comparing to Michael. That wasn't a Michael game last night. That was a Kobe game, nigga.
Mike done that shit too.
Yeah, he has, but not as much as Kobe.
Too. Have you watched the 96 finals? Mike done that shit too.
We always bring up the 96 finals.
He done that shit too.
That's always the barometer for Mike failure. It's the 96 finals.
I'm gonna say this: Scott don't have a Mike poster behind him on the shoulder. You see that right there. So
my answer to that is slightly fucked up. So we're gonna move on. Mike is still with us. That's why I don't have one of him in the background. But but I think that, what's my favorite phrase? Keep rebounds in Game 7 of the 2010 Finals. When Kobe shot 6 for 24. But even if you want to compare him to Mike, he had a rough half and he found a way to win the game. You know what I'm saying? And we kill Rudy Gobert. I kill Rudy Gobert.
Show him some love.
Rudy
Show him some goddamn
Gobert
love.
played the best quarter of best half of basketball I've ever seen from him. He played well. And when he made that fadeaway jumper, I was like, I think it's about over. It's just one of them things. And I also got to give love to Minnesota Timberwolves fans. There was a lot of them niggas at Ball Arena last night. You can hear them in the background. And you just see everything they got going on over there. It went from Anthony Edwards not knowing who A-Rod is, them having synchronized handshakes with the nigga. Like, everything is just going well for the Timberwolves, what makes it hard for you not to root for them. Now, Mark, what's your opinion on this run the Timberwolves have had?
I fuck with it crazy, man, because number one, like Anthony Edwards, you put your shoe out this season, and then you have a season like this with the highlights and everybody praising your name, and then you knock off the defending champs, and then you getting all these little sound bites and clips of him being like, "Yeah, I told y'all we was coming back here for this game," and you see him on the sideline, "Oh, I'm about to get in my bag," you know what I'm saying, and then you go out there and close that game out that way is incredible. And Rudy Gobert is getting a lot of credit, as he should. But he's getting a lot of credit for not being as ass as we expected him to be. Like, let's be 100. It's not like he always shows up. He is always the guy, and it's like, yeah, look, it's like, nah, he just, we didn't really expect a crazy amount from him. So he's stepping up doing his part now. But I'm all the way with it. If you're a fan of a small market team, you should be ecstatic about this NBA season because look at all the teams. Like, nobody. I'm not gonna say nobody. I mean, maybe. Indiana, residents, but like nobody, the Indianimals and all that, like nobody expected the Pacers to be Eastern Conference Finals. I didn't. I mean, I wouldn't say this going to Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So them, you got Minnesota who hasn't been here and who knows how long. So if you're a fan of a small market team, I think if we're getting back to that, Ant-Man is showing like, yo, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna stay down. I'm gonna build this shit right here, exactly where I got drafted to, instead of trying to go out there, and run a team up with two other guys to make some shit shake. Like, we're gonna do it right here where we at, make some moves that we got to make, but we're gonna figure it out. So this Timberwolves team is crazy. Like, I fuck with it.
I was rooting for the T-Wolves last night, even though I picked the Nuggets because I'm gonna pick a champion until they actually get knocked out. Bang, you and Dante picked the Wolves on Friday. What did you see from them yesterday, and what you think about this whole run they've had this year?
Resilient. When you down 20 in the fourth quarter of Game 7, you would automatically think that team was going to give up. They didn't. And they won the game. And at one point was up by 10 points. So I loved what I saw about the whole entire team. And I think, Pav, you are 150, 200, 300% correct. You now have to get back to team building. The time of the big three is officially over, even though it was over a couple of years ago. What happened to the Phoenix Suns basically by the Minnesota Timberwolves basically was the final nail in the coffin for that. So you got to look at not only the stars that you bring in, what this do draft for free agency, but you got to look at that bench. And the unfortunate part of that for teams like the Denver Nuggets that are going to win a championship and then have role players go through free agency is once you win a title and you are a role player, stock go up. So you have somebody like Bruce Brown, who was a key contributor of that team during their championship run, who's not on the team anymore. So now the GM and the scouts got to look and say, hey, who fits this team, and not just go out and get people just to get people. You ain't the Bulls. The Bulls did that first year, and that second year, that third year, they was like, yo, we just going to get some regular ass dudes. We going to go ahead and win the title. And they just kept it going like that. When you had the big three, you could go get your big three and just fill them in with people who are either willing to take less or 6 fouls and stuff like that. You have players now that are role players who had excellent years, whether it was with, a championship team, a potential championship team like Boston, Indiana, who also received some of those type players to help them with their run. Minnesota, you have a nice bench, but then you have Dallas. You know, the one thing we were talking about PJ Washington is ain't he shorty baby daddy and he couldn't see his kid.
Brittany Renner.
Yeah, like that was the most we heard about PJ Washington his first couple of years in the league. Now look at him. The other part of it is development. Not gonna front, y'all. I am so happy for this era because it feels like the coach is gonna be back. It feels like the head coach is something and somebody of importance now because for years, I mean, no diss to Frank Vogel, but I don't know how he be getting jobs, the way he be getting jobs. But if we're going to count the intramural championship, I'm going to count it today. And I always say in that championship, the best team was going to win that title, and the best team in those playoffs was the LA Lakers. But you also had a healthy, about time, because he had some time off, healthy Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
But those same teams with a couple of changes just ain't been working out for the Los Angeles Lakers. So what happened with those coaches? Vogel gone, Darvin Ham gone. But then when you look at the coaches that are in the playoffs right now, man, you have all of them has done things to help grow what the general manager has presented. When you have teams like the Lakers or, you know what, let's leave the Lakers alone. Let's look at the Bulls. Mark Eversley, I've said on this show, what do he do? He's West Side West. He's West Side West. Like, really, what does he do?
He's going to go to Detroit.
Right. And thank you. You got AK, who's not done shit. And then we have Billy Donovan, who in this case is probably done a good job at what he has had and with the injuries and stuff. But the Bulls could have very well been one of those teams with getting Lonzo Ball, getting DeMar DeRozan, getting Vooch, and having the right structure around them. If Ball does not get hurt, not saying that the Bulls will win the title, but it would definitely be a more competition with that team. But then one of the biggest news that come out during this weekend from a coaching standpoint is Wes Unseld Jr. is now the top assistant. Coaching is back, y'all. So when you look at, forget coaching, real team building. None of that NBA 2K, NBA Live 95. Let me just do some random shit and get everybody on my team. Real team building is back. So you're going to need an adequate coach and GM type of situation that's going to be able to help and build these teams. And when you look at Dallas and what they've done, when you look at Minnesota, and that's just been a great job in that situation. I remember when the head coach was hired and people was like, who? Now, right now he coaching was on crutches and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got Boston, and Boston had Ime Udoka, who's doing a great job coaching the Houston Rockets. But Mazzulla is over there, and he's held that ship up, and they've literally built that team from the ground up. Even when you go back to the whole Joel Embiid, not Joel Embiid, excuse me, the Ben Simmons. When Ben Simmons was drafted, a lot of people was like, maybe Tatum should have been that number one pick. Now look what we're talking about. And then you look at the Indiana Pacers, who may have, when you look at the history of the coach, the best coach currently coaching in the playoffs right now, and a pretty young team who definitely built up their bench a year ago.
Yeah, I agree with all that, man. Let's get to the Nuggets side of this. How the Nuggets bounce back. My thing with the Nuggets is this. I don't know 100% agree with what Pav said. It's a bad team and everything like that. I think
I didn't say bad. I just said it wasn't as good as people think it is.
There wasn't as good as last year's team. I think the thing is they just ran into a team that matchup wise knew how to beat them. All these other teams in the league don't have the personnel to do what the Minnesota Timberwolves did. I thought I saw on the timeline last night how far the mighty have fallen, where Laker fans have to root for other teams because they can't beat niggas. Like we have seen the falling of a great dynasty on my Twitter timeline. The Lakers were never going to do that because they didn't have the personnel. None of these other teams were going to do that because they didn't have the personnel to do what they had to do. The Nuggets do. The Timberwolves do. I think the Nuggets, simple as that. They just need to get a better bench. Get some better bench guys and just try again. I don't think that their window is closed. Even though I think windows are closing probably at an NFL rate now in the NBA. But I don't think they have that much to tinker with. I think they're probably tired. I think Jamal Murray said this, and Joker said this. It's much different when you have the crown and people are chasing you than it is when you're doing the chasing. So I think next year they'll be fine. And I think it's really just try to make that bench better. Michael Porter Jr. had a terrible playoffs. They really, Jamal Murray was on one leg. There was a lot of problems, but I definitely think they're fixable problems. Pav, how do you think that the Nuggets can find a way to bounce back and be right back in this title race next year?
Man, it wasn't no damn problem. They just got whooped up on. Like I said, this team again, like I said, this team. That's why I compare it to like 2009 Cavs. When you look at the roster, like you have one All-Star, you have literally one All NBA anything on the team. If you look at the Timberwolves to a man, they just had a better team. But there's nothing the Nuggets can do besides develop players. Like Christian Braun has to just develop. Peyton Watson, he has to develop. Michael Porter Jr. has to be able to do something else besides shoot the basketball. Because like if he got to put the ball on the floor, nothing good is gonna happen. They just have to literally continue to develop their players and like develop them in the system, because again, with the second April team, this team is going to get very, very, very expensive. Like I think Jokic is getting 200 million, Michael Porter getting like 170. I think Jamal Murray is getting like 170. I don't know what KCP's deal is, but KCP is always a guy who can command a solid amount of money. Aaron Gordon, I think, getting like $80 million. Ain't nothing they can do besides just, again, the young guys on the bench just gotta actually develop. You gotta go out, you gotta maybe, find a replacement for Reggie Jackson and find a replacement for Justin Holiday, a upgrade if possible, but those upgrades are going to be hard to come by. Like, it's going to be hard to find a better point guard for $6 or $7 or $8 million than Reggie Jackson. It's going to be hard to find another wing for probably a league minimum that's better than Justin Holiday. So they just have to literally hope that the guys in the system already just continue to develop. And that's really the only road through this. Again, I don't think it's over with anything. Like even like next year, barring injury, as long as they come back and are a healthy team, they're still going to win 50 games. They're still going to have something to say. Shit, they may not even see the Timberwolves next year. Who knows? So they'll still have something to say about what goes on in the league, as long as granted, I don't know what happens in the off season. I don't know who makes a deal, who does something to maybe prepare themselves. I don't know, but they'll still have something to say. But again, they just got to get better. Like I said, this team just wasn't. You have a all-time generational talent in Jokic. The rest of the team outside of Jokic just isn't that impressive. Not saying they're bad, because they aren't bad, but there isn't that impressive. No all-stars, no all-NBA players, no all-defensive players, like ever. None of them has been to any of those things. Never, ever. Nobody. I think DeAndre Jordan is the only one who's been all NBA, but DeAndre Jordan is 100 years old. You also need to get a backup center as well. The shit that they was doing, you like, no, bro. You need a backup center for Jokic.
Yeah.
The other rookie, when he's not a rookie, he's like 2 years pro. I forget his name. No, DJ. Literally, no, he needs to go retire. So they just have to make a couple key upgrades if possible. It's going to be hard. And then guys like Peyton Watson and Christian Braun just have to continue to keep developing. And, we can see the team back in the finals or right back in the same position that they were in this year, next year. Again, you lost to maybe the eventual champions in 7 games. Wasn't like you went out there and got ran amok or just ran over in the first round. That's not what happened. So, yeah.
It's not like you lost them bum-ass Lakers. Mari, what you think about the window for the Nuggets right now?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Like, I mean, they just need to go. You know how like trash teams try to say like we retooling. Like, no, you need a whole rebuild. You got to get that shit. Top to bottom, it got to go. They just need to retool. Like you said, a couple key pieces here and there. Like they'll be okay. Sometimes this happens, and when teams like this lose, it just goes to show you like appreciate those teams that go back to back or three-peat and shit like that. It's not easy playing that much basketball from October to June every year, and then coming back and beating everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's incredible to watch. So they're gonna go rest, look at the film and all this shit, and assess their team moving forward. But I don't really think there's much more that they could have done other than just be the team from last year. I mean, just can't do that. But there's not much that they really need to fix. They just need to just try again the next time. You know what I'm saying? Like they ran into the better team. This is, like you said, it's Minnesota. It's not like they went out there and got swept in the first round. If that happened, then it's like, yeah, we got to have some difficult conversations about some of these key players that y'all love so much. Like, we got to really talk. But, Michael Porter Jr., hey, man, I mean, that man had a lot going on at them family reunions this year, man. The group chat probably was going crazy. So, him getting going to the rat game or something, doing something other than hanging out with Ocean's 11 and shit. Like that's gonna probably do a lot for them too. But there's really not too much that they need to do. Like I don't look at them as, like you said, being finished. And I know this era is like instant gratification, and as soon as you lose, it's over with, and all it's over with. All the memes and the jokes.
Questioning, yo,
yeah,
them Joker all time.
100%. Yeah, and then people start having that conversation about the worst MVP, this, that, and the third, running with narratives that just don't really make a lot of sense. So that's the biggest storm they're gonna have to weather is like the fucking jokes. But other than that, basketball, like I don't think that they have too much to worry about basketball wise. I think they'll be, like you said, right back next year, and we probably won't be having this conversation again. You know what I'm saying?
Bang, you agree with us? Do you think that the Nuggets don't have that much to change? Yeah, you on mute. That's fine.
Hey man, I'm trying to focus on trying to help produce this shit, Scott. Dante, I totally understand right now. Hey, nah, man, I don't think they have much. I think you just need to improve your bench, and you have to look and see, look at free agency and look at the draft and see who would be the best fit for that. You don't have to go out and get a star. You don't have to go out and try to spend an absorbent amount of money to go try to, get somebody or trade for, who might be available like Zach or a free agent like DeMar DeRozan. Like,
you trying to ruin that franchise.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't got to do that. What you need to do is just shore up your bench. That's why they lost this game. They lost this game because the bench couldn't sustain what they did last year because they lost pieces, and the pieces that they brought in was good. It got them here, but it wasn't. No, it just didn't work. And it didn't work because they was a bad team. It just worked because the other team that they prepared for them as we need to go beat them, to the point where I get it and understand that, and that's dope. You want to prepare your team to beat the champions. And I believe they'll beat Dallas, but you also got to make sure that you prepare for the other teams in the NBA too. So I think that as long as they, shore up their bench, they're going to be in it. Matter of fact, I think a lot of teams' windows are still open or opening. And this is why the NBA looks to have a good future in these next couple of years because of the influx of young talent being spreaded around. I hate to bring up a era for you all. Even though the Lakers and the Celtics and Detroit won all those championships, but there was a reason why you can love Atlanta. There was a reason why you can love a Dallas. There was a reason why you can love some of these other teams in the 80s because Atlanta had Dominique Wilkins. Dallas at one point had Rolando Blackman and Derek Harper. You had other teams before expansion that had a star on every team. So every night became must-see TV. I think we're on our way to getting back to that type of NBA.
And that's a perfect segue into this next topic, man. I want to talk about bright future or missed opportunity from the two teams that lost this weekend. That is the New York Knicks and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I just want to say this. I have no problem with this Knicks team. I thought it was a pretty enjoyable Knicks team as far as Knicks teams go. But I just love seeing New York sports fans suffer. It just brings me a certain joy that I just can't explain because New Yorkers are just loud. They think they better and everything. So it's always good when a teams lose. So from that aspect, I got it. And for every Knicks fan who's calling me and my brother Flo's idiots because we named out the Tibbs cycle and that you niggas are at 0.7 right now on the Tibbs cycle. We those freak injuries. Hamstring injuries ain't freak injuries a lot of times. That comes from, built up playing too much minutes. This happens all the time. There's a 10-year, proof of a pattern of this. So, and they said, well, if we had Julius, we would have had this. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk, my nigga. Like, if Derrick Rose didn't get hurt, who knows what happened? Shut up, Pavy. I know you've got to say something smart about Derrick Rose in that era. But who knows what would have happened if Derrick Rose would have stayed healthy? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different things that you can say with what ifs with this. And national media, stop trying to make Knicks fans sympathetic figures. They're not sympathetic figures. They deserve all the suffering they getting right now. Now, do I see a clear, not clear, but like there's a lot of similarities between Knicks fans and Bears fans. I'm very aware of that too. Very loud, sometimes over the top optimistic franchises two franchises that the field is probably more important than the games being played on the actual field and court. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, a rabid fan base. But you got them. They lost this week to the Pacers. Last night to the Pacers. Got blown out by the Pacers. Thunder put up a good fight. But they lost to the Dallas Mavericks on Saturday. My question to y'all, I'm going to go to you, Pavy, first. You know, these windows in the NBA are closing quickly like the NFL. Do you think bright future or missed opportunity for the Knicks and the Thunder? Do you think they'll be here again or they won't?
I think a combination of both. I guess I'll start with the Knicks first. Obviously, the Knicks had a magical run, but this type shit ain't gonna ever happen again. You can't just go out there playing. Josh Hart sat on the bench for the first time in Game 3. What are we doing, bro? Granted, now look, a lot of that was obviously because of injuries, but you know, OG sometimes be hurt. Like even I think the year that they won the championship, OG was hurt. I like forget what the injury was, but the man was hurt. The man be hurt. And also I see a lot of like, you know, people doing the pulling out the trade machine for the Knicks, and I just hope the Knicks don't fuck it up. There's like a world where the Knicks could really fuck this thing up. And even we know with Randall and like all these other guys coming back, it's like I think this worked because of the synergy of the squad. So like in theory, they should be back next year. They should be better. But like when Randall come back, shit, that's 17 shots that Randall got to take. Like Randall gonna shoot the ball. When Bogdanovich get back, if he has a deal for next year, he gonna want to shoot the ball. Isaiah Harkison, who played a great role, obviously, but you know, Mitchell Robinson, when he gets back, you know, he's gonna be there, but he be hurt as well. OG, if he's healthy, fully healthy, he gonna get his 15 shots. So like at the same time, I hope the Knicks don't fuck it up. And even, you know, maybe they get, I've heard, you know, the Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, like people are gonna be out there for the Knicks to get, but I don't really see how those guys make sense. Like, I don't want Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks if I'm the Knicks. Like, now your whole backcourt 6'3". Like, the only thing that I think would make sense is maybe you go get, like, Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? If you can, like, figure out a way to get that and get, like, the Villanova trio back. And I'm saying that because, obviously, you know, Jalen Brunson being a smaller guard, like, you know, you can get him, but put him next to Mikal. You got OG, you was and Hart, and then you go Mitchell Robinson or something like that. But, yeah, I just hope the Knicks don't do the most. I don't know what the Knicks have to do. They have to do something, but the move that they make is going to be critical because they could very easily fuck this thing up. The Thunder aren't a real basketball team. And this is, I said this at the trade deadline. Bro, like, look at their lineup. Number one, they have a Josh Giddey problem. And not because of his like, off-the-court things. I think Josh Giddey should be a sixth man. But he can't fucking shoot the ball. He literally can't shoot. Carson Wallace is probably their two guard of the future, and that can work because Shea is 6'6". Carson Wallace seems like he can shoot, but also the Thunder don't run no offense. Like I saw way too many times in that series where Shea had to do 16 moves to get a shot off. Yeah. Like y'all got to run some offense.
He was dribbling like the nigga on Vine.
Like, come on, bro. Y'all got to actually run. Like, they weren't running any plays, though. Like, it's not like the play was give Shea the ball. You go to the wing, watch that man dribble. And Chet, y'all got to give Chet some help, bro. Like, Chet about 200 pounds. You got to go out there and get you an actual big. Like I said this at the trade deadline. The Thunder have a size problem. You have to go out there and get more size. But the Thunder have the assets to do it with all the picks and with all the other deals that the picks and the contracts that they do have and the cap space that they haven't spent yet. But the Thunder is the team that they're going to have to figure this shit out really quick. The reason I got to figure this out quick is because right now they have a cheap team, right? You have Chet. He's still on his rookie deal. I know Shea getting his money, but there's really only Shea that's getting his money. Jalen Williams and Chet and all these other guys going to be up for contract extensions in about 2-3 years. And again, with the second apron, it's going to make it hard to team build and get the extra pieces that you need. And again, you still play in Oklahoma City. Yeah. And those guys go get $200 million. We in Oklahoma City, bro. It's not like, you know, we don't have a Clippers manager who just, I think is the richest manager in the not manager, but the owner. I think Ballmer's the richest one in the league. Yeah, so he don't give a fuck about.
He's one of the richest men in the world.
Right?
So he wired $500 million for the Forum. He wired the money for the Forum. I don't know who the OKC owner is, but I don't think that man got that same kind of bread that Steve Ballmer has. So the Thunder got to figure this shit out really quickly because there's a role where like, yo, you pay all these guys this money and you make the wrong move and you fucked up. The thing that I would like to see the Thunder do, I would love it if the Thunder could maybe call about Kyle Kuzma. Like I think they had the assets to get it done, or just something like that, because they need more size, bro. Like Chet was down there fighting for his life, trying to rebound the ball against Dallas. Like they're not a real basketball team. So yes, I think both of these teams, there are moves that they can make, but they could also make the wrong move and just mess this whole thing completely up very soon.
We're on a little bit of a time crunch here, so we're gonna go right into these conference finals picks, man. Let's get into the Eastern Conference Finals. Kicks off tomorrow in Boston, man. We got the Celtics and the Indiana Pacers. I'm gonna go Celtics in 6. I really want to say Celtics in 5, but the Celtics are trick-off kings. Indiana plays like a team that we've never seen before at home. They're a completely different team at the crib. And I just don't know how good Boston is yet. Like they ain't had a fight yet. They ain't even had remotely even the competition yet. Played Miami in the first round without Jimmy Butler and my man Johnny Tapia from Bad Boys 2. We ain't had them niggas in the first round. And then in the second round, Donovan got hurt, then Karis LeVert got hurt. So we don't really know how good they are. I think the Pacers, we all know offensively they score well. Of course, they're not going to score as well as they did in Game 7. That was historically some of the greatest offense we've ever seen. But I do think that, they'll get one of these first 2 games in Boston because Boston likes to trick off. And then there'll be a game in Indiana where Boston can't hit nothing. And I think that's where they'll get there too. I think Boston will win this, but I will say they need to get Porzingis back either sometime in this series or before the finals start, because they're not winning the NBA championship, whether it's Dallas or especially not Minnesota, without Kristaps Porzingis, in my opinion. Pav, who you got in this Eastern Conference Finals?
I have Boston. It won't come without context, just because not contest, because Boston just be tweaking sometimes. They definitely gonna tweak off for at least a game and a half, and probably lose. But I think that they should win this series in 5 games, and but yeah, they're gonna lose a game. They're not gonna sweep them, but because again, Boston gonna have one game where they shoot 20% from 3, and Jason Tatum gonna go out there and shoot 35% from the field. And they probably gonna lose by like 20 just because like the Pacers gonna score a whole bunch of points, but they should win the series. Should be like a 5-game series. And I don't think that the Celtics will face any for real challenges until they get to the finals, which could be a good or a bad thing. So we'll see.
Mari, who you got in this East Conference Finals?
Yeah, I got Celtics in 5. I was gonna say 6, but I just don't trust Indy to get 2 games from them. I do trust them to get 1 just because maybe that first game back in Indy. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna turn up. You know how that go. And then, like you said, Boston, they're gonna play around at least one time for sure. I don't see this going past 5 games. If it goes past 5 games, fuck Boston.
They're in trouble.
Because it should be 4. If we being real, it should be. We want to say 4, but Boston hasn't shown us enough to trust them to say that they're not gonna play with their food. But so I'm gonna say Celtics.
If
5.
they were what their regular season record is, it would be 4.
4 games easy, yeah. So I'm gonna say 5. Yeah.
Bang, who you got in this Eastern Conference Finals, man? How many games?
I'm about to say some shit. I'm looking at his face.
I got Boston, but I got Boston in 7.
In 7,
man.
Hell no, bro. To the moon. Hell no.
I feel like a lot of tricking off is going to happen in this series because, as I said earlier, they got the best coach in the playoffs right now. And man, Missoula be tricking shit off sometimes, G. And sometimes the Celtics be doing it too. So because I believe that they're going to be kept in this by coaching and tricking off, Boston ultimately will win because they have the talent. I just don't trust the killer instinct. Boston, but in 7.
If they let these niggas take them to 7,
banish them.
Break that.
Could happen. It could happen.
It's not out of realm possibility.
It's not out of realm, but no.
It would be peak Celtics. And like you said, we got to put a slander mandate on Jason Tatum right now. If the Boston Celtics do not win this NBA championship, I want LeBron James Heatles era of slander.
This nigga damn.
Yeah, you see that background? He'll see. But,
hey, Scott, remember I said 4-4-4. I said they should have sweep everybody until they get to the finals. So they out here tricking on.
Yeah.
They lost to the Cavs.
Yeah.
It's in a game that they shouldn't have and kept it close. The first game when Donovan was gone. They gonna trick some shit off, G. I feel it.
Yeah.
Let's get into the other series. Then we're gonna get Mari and Pav out of here, and then we're gonna start cousin Dan up this time. Western Conference Finals, Game 1 on Wednesday in Minneapolis at Target Center. Minnesota Timberwolves hosting Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, and the what's it called? The Dallas Mavericks. I think this series is going to be a long series.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it going 7. I don't think it will go 7. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves at 6. I think they have more size, Pauls. I think that this is a better defensive team. And even though the Mavericks are in this position right now, the Mavericks got a little bit of Clippers on them. The Mavericks got a little bit of Clippers on them. The way they be giving up leads and stuff like that. You know, they went against Clippers in the first round, so you couldn't beat the Masters. You can't out-clip the Clippers. But in the second round, OKC was too young to really capitalize off the mistakes that the Mavericks made. So I do think that Anthony Edwards is going to have a big series. I think Rudy Gobert is going to have a big series. And I think Karl-Anthony Towns, as we always say, if he can stay out in foul trouble, he'll be good. But the X factor here is Kyrie Irving. If Kyrie Irving can have a great series, then that kind of changes things a little bit. He was okay in this series against OKC. Pav, how you see this West Conference Finals going?
This is gonna be real hoop hours, but I'm going with Minnesota in 6. I think the advantages that the Mavericks have had the past 2 series, they won't have against the Timberwolves. Like, I think the Timberwolves are better defensively, even though Dallas, for whatever reason, just became the 2004 Detroit Pistons for half of the playoffs. I don't know when fucking PJ Washington became Tayshaun Prince and could just guard anybody, and when Derrick Jones Jr. became Scottie Pippen. I have no idea when this happened, but they've been guarding people really well. Yes, I agree with you. Kyrie is the X factor, but same thing I said about the Timberwolves when it comes to Jamal Murray. Now, granted, Kyrie Irving is a much better player than Jamal Murray, even though people be acting like Jamal Murray, Kyrie Irving. A lot of people do. I'm not one of those people that has ever subscribed to that. But they do have bodies to throw at, Kyrie. You got Jaden McDaniels. Mike Conley will try his best. You have Ed. You got Nikhil, Alexander Walker. So you have people to throw at him. And I think that, that last series, obviously because the Thunder only had one big, so they could kind of dominate the glass as in the Mavericks. They won't have that same advantage against the Timberwolves. Like, it's different, coming in the paint or trying to get boards against just Chet and shit, whoever else, if Chet is out the game, than it is on Naz Reid, Cat, and Rudy Gobert. Like, that's 30 rebounds in theory between them 3. So yeah, I'm going Minnesota to win the series in 6. But this is gonna be a great Western Conference Finals. It's probably one of the better Western Conference Finals that we've had in a good while. So yeah.
On a show note, Dan has requested both of y'all presents. Do y'all have a couple minutes or no?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. Okay. Marion, do you have a couple minutes or you got? I know you got kids.
Yeah, I got a few.
Oh, that's a few. Okay. But who do you got in these West Conference Finals?
Give me Minnesota in 6. Realistically, looking at these 2 teams, I would want a game 7 out of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because watching Minnesota in that game 7 and them performing like that, you would want that. But I'm gonna say them in 6. I think that if Kyrie does have a great series, I think that they'll be better to watch. I mean, obviously you love seeing Kyrie go off, but I don't think that's gonna make the difference. Like, if he has a great series, I don't think everybody else is going to be on as well. Like, PJ Washington might come back down to earth. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Like, series to series, these type of players, you just don't know what you're getting from them. The same thing that just happened in the last series. It's like, oh, damn, PJ is hooping. That shit could go all the way out the window. It's a whole different matchup. You're not used to playing against somebody that's going to talk to you like Ant, and that shit count when you hooping. Like, you playing basketball, it's a different energy on the other side. That shit matters, like, a lot. I do think Rudy Gobert probably got some confidence. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of those guys got a lot of confidence having Ant there.
You do not like Rudy Gobert.
I really don't, bro. I don't
not like Rudy Gobert.
The reason why though is because, like, I want to, because I think that he could be a great player. A lot of times he just does not. He acts like he forgets how tall he is, forget that he can hoop. And when he's on, it's like, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We just don't that shit just don't happen all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I wanna like him, you know, more than I do. But I think he got some confidence, you know, from that series and shit. So moving forward, give me them in 6.
Bang, quickly give your opinion, and we'll bring my ridiculous cousin.
I'm so glad that I took my chill edible, fam. Because I already feel like it's about to be a lot of bullshit that come out this man's mouth as soon after that graphic pull up. Oh man, I'm so glad. Hey, I've said it on this show. I'll say it again. If Luka is who we say he is, this should go 7. If Kyrie is who we know he is, this should go 7. I feel like this has to be real scary hours from those two in order for this series to go 7. And I do believe that is going to happen too. And the NBA will love it. So Minnesota will win. But
in 7.
This will be in 7. And it's going to be a classic NBA playoff series, Western Conference Finals.
All right, man. Throw the graphic up. Let's bring this nigga in here. Let's bring this nigga. Cousin Dan. We have not had an episode of this in a long time. Okay. Hold on. You can't play the music, dog. I'm not trying to. You trying to get this show taken down, dog.
Trying to get the show taken down.
We can't play copyrighted music on this show,
especially if you would have played Kendrick, then we would have been good and profited off of it.
Yeah, because of copyright laws. Yeah,
we could have profited off of it.
Somebody tell this nigga turn the music off. Okay, like nigga. Somebody. We can't have copyrighted.
Wait a minute. There we go right there.
You see, he's been in mourning.
That's what happens.
You motherfuckers.
All right, go ahead, man.
You motherfuckers.
Go ahead, mourn your dead.
Let me tell you what I saw, man. Let me speak. You know, we're gonna get to the sports in a second.
Let's ISO.
Let me speak to the fucking people for a second, man. Let me tell y'all what I saw, because these motherfuckers kept me away on purpose for like the last month.
Nigga, I was sick for a month.
We gonna get into that later. Let me tell you what the fuck I saw on I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I'm looking at the shit and it says why Drake lost. This is what we're fucking debating. Not the actual beef, not the battle itself. This shit said this is why Drake lost. How the fuck is the public supposed to get the actual truth and both sides if y'all motherfuckers starting debates with why Drake lost? Ladies and gentlemen, first and fucking foremost, bro, I apologize for not being here for a month. You got to talk to the bosses. I'm not gonna hold you about that. You got to talk to them pillars, motherfucker. It's a lot of haters on this side. You got to talk to Pavy. They did not want me on this motherfucker. Ever since the Warriors lost the play-in, I've been bad. I don't know why. However, I'm back, man. First things fucking first, bro. Let me just say this shit here. I don't give a fuck what these niggas said to y'all, what the fuck was expressed. Ain't no way in hell to any real nigga Drake lost this motherfucking battle, bro. Mourning my ass. I don't, you know what I'm saying, really debate hip-hop with the Bad Bunny fans and shit like that, but whatever bro said is cool. Hey, man, you can't.
That's Drake. That's who Drake battles with, Bad Bunny.
Let me take y'all back. Man. You know what I'm saying? It was
I'm
what?
Just going to keep that up.
01, like 2001. You know what I'm saying? Hov came out with the Blueprint. Nas came out with Ether. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker, this record's dropped. Niggas was like, all right, cool, let's see what he got. You know what I'm saying? You had time to ingest the shit. I've never in my fucking life seen a nigga release a diss track and then another nigga release 2 more diss tracks 10 minutes later, bro.
Oh,
what the fuck? Like, what part of the game is that?
You mean like
and the shit wasn't even good.
You mean what Drake did to me?
It was cold songs.
You mean what Drake did to me?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's literally what Drake did.
Back to back wasn't no fucking 10 minutes late. This nigga Drake released a song at like 7 p.m. By fucking 7:45 p.m. The nigga released 2 more songs. Who does that, bro? You not man enough to let a song rock for one day, and y'all out here cheering for the shit. Let's present some fucking facts here, dog. For a nigga that got put on by Drake, that little motherfucker is really, really, really disrespectful.
He didn't get put on by Drake. That's
he did, nigga. He took him on tour. There's videos of this nigga saying, "Oh my God, thank you so much. We just some good bros making good music." He just the nigga on tour, dog. What
There
did
we
you
go.
say to me?
So fuck Dr. Dre, huh? Dr. Dre had nothing to do with that.
But no, Kendrick?
Yes.
Oh no,
Nigga,
I got a better question, Pavy. So Wayne, who put Drake on, is cool to fuck his woman?
Huh?
Cool? Wayne put Drake on, but it's cool for Drake to fuck his woman.
Who Wayne fuck one of Wayne's chicks?
Drake fuck one of Wayne's chicks. Yeah.
Who gives a fuck, nigga? Drake fuck every
So we can't diss a
What you
nigga,
saying?
but it's cool to sleep with a
Can't bring
woman.
bitches into you. Sound like Ja Morant right now.
Okay,
That's why Ja Morant. That's why Metro salty over
for
some hoes. Don't bring the hoes into this. Hoes get hit.
I'm bringing
Hoes get hit.
women. I'm bringing overage women into this. But go ahead.
Woo.
I'm bringing
Bitches get hit,
overage
man.
women.
Don't bring the hoes into this. This is my thing, bro. First of all, the shit was like the most listenable song the nigga put out was like that. All right, cool. I give you that, right? You know what I'm saying? Yes, bang. That was the most listenable fucking song he put out. You from the west side of Chicago. I'm from the west side of Chicago. I don't listen to that E40 shit. Them beats don't move me, bro. I know y'all think that shit is a hit, and them niggas and they chunks and they and they dangly earrings. That song not cold to me. That not like that shit. I be outside. I'm not from Long Beach, nigga. That don't move me.
You must have not been outside the last 2 weeks. You must not have been outside the last 2 weeks because it's playing.
In LA, nigga, I've been outside of Chicago. It's not knocking here, nigga. I be outside here, nigga. They played the shit. They played the shit 2 days after it came out in Hugh. Ain't nobody do shit. Pavy got the video. I sent Pav the video of it, and I can send it to you. Stop acting like LA is the capital of America.
You know that all DJs in Chicago, most of them suck, right? You do know that they get on music 2 months later. You do know that, right? The majority of Chicago DJs get on music 2 months later. This is a fact. Go ahead.
Later. Nigga, you think they wasn't playing this shit? You think California was the only place in America that had this song playing outside?
No, it's not, because
this song that y'all hyped up.
It's the number one song in America. Obviously, everybody's playing.
Why is it definitely take a second?
Why is it number one? Why is it number one? What was it about?
Let me guess, cause Drake, where's Family Matters?
Yeah,
I don't see Family Matters in the top 10.
Remember? Hey, here.
Not today.
Present some more shit.
Not today.
Remember how y'all was all on the internet like,
it dropped out. It's not on there today.
Guess who the number one stream rapper is on Spotify now?
Oh,
take a guess.
I don't know, nigga. Kendrick?
No, it was, but then guess who went back to being the number one stream rapper?
That's cool.
That's fine.
Of course it's fun, but now the numbers don't matter. The numbers matter when Bro had a number one.
Exactly.
Now the numbers don't matter.
Hold on. First of all, because this nigga talked to me. First of all, with numbers never matter. They matter because Drake fans and Drake care about the matter.
Nah, look at his face.
That's why they matter. Y'all keep thinking this nigga's a small nigga, and that's why when numbers don't matter no more.
So okay, numbers matter or not?
No, they don't matter in beat.
Okay, but why would y'all say? You literally just said where's Family Matters.
They matter.
You literally just said where's Family Matters.
Because it matters to y'all.
Listen to me, man. We can spend all day arguing about this. This is why I think the nigga lost. Until this nigga Day Free or that nigga's bitch comes forth and at least tweets or posts a cap emoji, that nigga beat his bitch and one of them babies ain't here. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Okay? That bitch gotta say something. Day Free gotta say something.
Just on some strictly rap shit.
I know way people in that nigga camp. He be coming on here telling his wife his bitch. All right, so let's relax. Number one. All right, let's chill the fuck out.
Hold on. I want to ask him this. Right. Just on some rap shit. Regardless of the if we putting that to the side, right? Just on some rap shit, you think that Drake smoked him rapping wise in this?
Yeah. Them voices don't do it for me, fam. I'm sorry. Bro changing his voice, rapping fast. I know y'all think he's like the coldest rapper since MF Doom or you know what I'm saying? I know y'all think he's that. He's not that to me, bro. Them bars be basic, fast, and different fucking languages and shit. And y'all be acting like the nigga is God MC. Who the fuck is Orlando Ortiz? Why is he tuning in? Like, bro, this is a black show. I'm humble part. What are you on, bro? Like, I'm not finna debate.
This is for Africans only,
bro. This is a black show, brother.
This is for Africans only. No, this is not just for black people. This is for everybody. I want all people to watch the show. Well, go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, all people shouldn't chime in. Like, this like me asking him about soccer or something.
Well, that means Drake
I don't
shouldn't
know
chime
him.
in.
I'm
That
not
means
finna chime
That
in.
means Drake shouldn't chime in. He has a white mother. If you want to go to that, then that means Drake shouldn't chime in.
Man, what the fuck? See, that's what I'm saying, man. Y'all bringing
That
shit
means
into
Drake
this
shouldn't
shit
chime in.
that ain't
If
never
you
been a
want
part of this shit, bro.
If
Y'all
you
bringing
want
all types of random ass whack shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit about to be. It's supposed to be about who got more money, who got more bitch. It's a fucking rap battle. Y'all talking about niggas.
in a rap
Your
battle,
dad
he
is
lost,
black,
bro.
your mom is white. Shut up, man.
He
This is a
lost,
fucking rap
bro.
battle.
I just want to make sure I hit this
I'm
right.
fucking disgusted.
I just want to make sure I hit this right. So a rap battle is all about bitches and money. That's what a rap battle
No,
is.
I'm just saying you supposed to stun on a nigga.
He did.
That's what it is.
He did.
That's why I fucked your bitch.
He got the entire country calling him pedophile. I think he stunned on him.
He got no. See, that's the thing, bro. Y'all looking at it from one lens,
bro. It's not
and
just
y'all
West Coast,
projecting
bro.
that on the. I'm not the world, nigga.
It's not just.
I'm not none of them dangly earring niggas.
Hey,
I don't wear West Coast. I don't wear Chunks. I don't wear Air Cortez.
Dan, there's a shirt. Dan, there's a shirt that we have on the Some Dude Pod, and I'm agree with you on this right here. The reason why I'm going to agree with you on your thoughts around this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef is because what you listen to don't make me bop, and vice versa. So if you feel, fam, I am so zen right now. If you feel like Drake won this battle,
you from the West Side, nigga. Fuck you mean what I feel? If you come around your motherfucking cousins playing that E40 shit, they gonna be like, nigga, cut this shit off. What is you doing?
If you feel like Drake won,
stop, nigga, stop. Ain't you from the West Side, nigga?
If you feel like Drake won,
ain't you from the West Side, nigga?
Chicago Avenue and Laramie. Yes,
okay, so you can play that E40 shit around your people, they gonna rock with it.
If you
lie to me,
I'm telling you,
lie to me.
If you feel like Drake won, Drake won.
I don't give a fuck how high you are. You from the West Side of Chicago. We don't listen to that here.
I'm telling you,
I'm sorry, I gotta remind you where you live at, bro.
I told
we don't
you,
rock with that here.
Like,
why you acting like we rock with that?
If you feel like Drake won, he won.
Right. At the end of the day, if you feel musically, I feel.
I mean, of course, Drake was listening. Drake only lost to niggas who said he was supposed to lose before the shit started.
Now that Mr. I have nothing to drop. Not he lost from the beginning. Get the fuck out of here, man.
He did. Y'all niggas, G. The nigga came out, the nigga was rapping over Marvin Gaye beats. Y'all was acting like this shit was amazing. I'm like, who the fuck raps over this in a battle, nigga? This motherfucking Museum of Science and Industry shit.
Wait a minute.
Hyde Park Fest beats. No.
On the song that you quoted.
Which one? Because I don't listen to it.
It was an interpolation of a similar song that you just talked about.
What you talking about? Which one, man? Y'all listen to way more Drake than I do Kendrick. Let me put that out there.
I don't dislike Drake. I just think Drake not a rapper, which it was proved he ain't.
Oh my God.
He's a pop star.
The nigga asked him, when you beat on your girl, is it self-defense because she bigger than you? If that's not a part, I don't know what the fuck is.
He asked him, why don't you talk to women over 21?
Y'all Pav's birthday is on the 22nd.
He asked the nigga why he ain't married his queen, his mixed queen. Y'all don't want to talk about her being mixed.
Happy birthday.
He asked him why he married his mixed queen.
She's not actually
I know niggas like that.
She's not actually
He's preaching all that righteous shit out here. Just like other niggas dogging and shit. Fuck out of here, man. Pavy, why are you so quiet? I don't like that you're quiet.
His birthday is coming up, fam. Happy early birthday.
No, fuck his birthday. Chime in.
Happy early birthday,
First
man.
and foremost, I'm the biggest Drake fan. I mean, probably.
No, you're not, nigga.
No, you're not. You don't have a picture of that nigga in the background. Like
you flip BD and GD depending on what block you on. You that type of nigga.
He just lost.
Whatever crew is in front of you at the time, that's your crew.
Scott, we're gonna be in
you know I've been BD since 04. You know I've been GD since 03. Be one of them niggas.
Push-Ups is my favorite song from the whole thing, but he lost. Yes, he did. He lost. I think that some of the records would be more appreciated in 10 years, but the way that he put the recorks out, he lost.
What are you talking about, bro? It's cool. It's cool to just drop 3 songs. You diss me.
Yes, it's war.
It's war, nigga.
War. You bomb your.
If it's war, why bro ain't never got to address nothing?
Because there's nothing to address, bro.
There's a lot to address, nigga.
Nothing to address.
Right.
It's not addressed.
Because you don't want to know. You don't want to hear about it.
I don't look.
I want to know. Is the nigga beating on the bitch or not? Is one of them kids not here? These are questions that I need to hear. I need answers. I'm not just gonna drop the shit because I'm a fan. Drake addressed that shit immediately.
Yeah, Drake, because he got beat up.
Bring me my daughter. I'm fucking little girl. All the girls and shit from the shows. They like, nah, that y'all niggas being weird.
Okay, no, hold on. Time out. The girls thing is hilarious because I don't care what they say. I have video of her being 17 and that nigga saying, "Oh, why your titties up me like that?" I don't care what they said. I saw with my own eyes.
I saw the video too.
I saw a 15-year-old Millie Bobby Brown say, "Yes, he told me he missed me." You're 29 years old. What telling a 15-year-old girl you miss her for? I don't need nothing else. I don't care what a daddy said.
So you believe he's a pedo?
No, I don't believe he's a pedo, but I believe he's a creep.
Okay, I believe that little nigga be giving that bitch an Irish kiss here and there. That's what I believe.
I don't know, but one thing I do know is if
all right, he gets a little handsy with the merchandise.
The views and the thoughts expressed by Dan
he might be raising
not reflect
his general manager's kid.
And H&B
come on, now, that's fanfic, my nigga. He took like
everything about Drake is real. Everything about bro is fanfic.
Look, you're 40 years old. You know from rap, it don't have to be true. We don't know if Tupac slept with Faith Evans, but we know it's Young and Fly.
Tupac definitely did.
We don't know that. Were you there? Okay.
Were you there when Drake was picking up little girls?
36 in the top O class. We don't know that.
He was when Nas said that, he meant because Jay-Z was taking boxing lessons at the time when he did that. What was it? TV show called "This Is My Life" or whatever.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, that's why he called him a top hoe.
Okay, do we know that Jay-Z?
Do the knowledge, nigga.
Do we know that Jay-Z left condoms in Nas baby's baby seat? No, I don't think he did.
I mean, he hit his baby mama. If he hit his baby mama, obviously the rest is like.
Do we know that's even true?
That's what I'm saying.
We don't know. Jay said he let go 92 bricks and he still lived. He can lie and say a lot of stuff.
That's the fun part about a battle, but. Y'all take everything, Twitter is full of the bitches y'all like them hoes with
I don't care about
wrap t-shirts on their head and shit. It was a million
views and thoughts expressed by Dan Glorious does not reflect.
Man, you ain't gotta get no fucking one. They already know what it is over here, dog. They already know.
Media.
Y'all ain't gonna do shit. You run in my crib, you gonna get shot. I don't give a fuck about if you disagree with my views. These niggas know where I stay. Fuck that.
All right,
listen to me, bro.
Let's move on. We got like 10 minutes.
Let's move on. All
right. Your Lakers have had they've been eliminated. They're going through a thing right now. Do you want JJ Redick to be your head coach?
Nah, I don't even think. I don't think he's even being like. I don't buy the hype that he's being considered for the coach. No, I don't think it's gonna. I think it's gonna be Sam Cassell or Borrego or whoever the fuck else they named. I just think because LeBron podcasted with him. And, obviously it's going to be a hot story if people put it out there. But I'm not even paying attention to that shit, bro. I'm just glad Darvin is gone. This motherfucker was a terrible coach. Only haters would disagree with that. I'm waiting on Ty Lue to just go ahead and let him know, like, hey, bro, it ain't working out here. All-star player, can't play a season of basketball. Go ahead, give me my release, bro. So if the Ty Lue shit don't happen, no, anybody's better than Darvin, bro. But I ain't putting no stock in that Darvin Ham shit, bro. Ty Lue and PG, they gonna come across the hall. I already showed Pavy how they gonna get there, so we good to go.
Okay. How's the way they gonna get there?
Pavy asked me like how they gonna get there. I sent them Google Maps of going from Intuit Dome or whatever it is, Intuit Arena.
Nigga don't know the salary cap.
Center.
The nigga don't know nothing about the salary cap.
What salary cap, dog? There are 2 max contracts. No, I'm just saying, like, you act like we're not y'all. We don't have 3 max players right now, bro. We're not the Clippers. So, I mean, we're allowed to have we're allowed to have Paul George. Why the fuck can y'all have 3 superstars, but we can't? Like, what is this picture you're trying to paint to me?
Dan, tell me contractually how he's gonna get there. Please
easily
a deal.
Dude, we finna deal D-Lo or I don't know, man. They gonna make the player up. Can I ask you a question? Why do you think only the Clippers are allowed to have 3 star players, bro? Like, the NBA makes the shit work.
Maxes.
Huh?
They're not all on maxes. Even
no, Kawhi, they're not. I don't think they are. No.
Even Kawhi didn't re-sign for the max.
Nigga, would you pay Kawhi a max deal right now?
That's not what I said. That's nothing. I just told you what happened. I just say what I would.
I know the motherfuckers at least making like 35, 40 million a piece.
That's not a max.
Okay.
And Paul George wants the max. How is
Paul
he going
George
to
does
get
want the man.
We gonna see. How you know? You don't know he leaving. You disagree that he leaving. I say that nigga's
He
up.
might leave, but he probably going
He
like
is going.
Philadelphia or somebody.
I don't think he's leaving LA, but if he does, he's going to Denver or Philly. He probably going.
How's Denver gonna afford them?
How's he going to Denver?
The Lakers got a better chance to afford them than Denver.
Why you say
How's
that?
he getting Denver?
Nigga, you can do that. It's the NBA, bro. You can match salaries all day.
How is he getting Denver? What's the deal?
I don't know what the flights look like from LA to Denver.
No, tell me the
deal.
Is
it a 2.5-hour flight?
Tell me no. Please present to me a trade that's going to have Paul George.
Paul George is opting out. He's going to be a free agent, sir.
Again, please present to me a deal that's going to have Paul George.
They're gonna move some cap around. Why do you keep acting like the salary cap is an income for the league?
Trade, please. Dog. Tell me somebody they're gonna send over there.
I don't know, man. They're gonna figure it out. Why does it stress you out so much? Why does it stress you out so much? Why does it stress you out so much? He's leaving Kawhi, bro. You're gonna have to come to terms with it.
Okay, that's fine.
Your Kawhi is cooked. You're gonna be living in London permanently because you ain't gonna be able to deal with the heartbreak.
Just tell me where he going and how we getting there.
I don't know. It's either Philly, the only actual basketball team in LA, or the Nuggets.
Okay.
Paul George going to the Nuggets?
What the fuck, Pav? You act like shit is sweet on the Clippers.
How is he gonna get there, bro?
Okay, so how is he gonna stay? You know Harden wants a max. You know Kawhi wants a max.
Kawhi already signed his deal and it was for less than
nigga, they trying to extend Kawhi. Kawhi is on a ain't Kawhi making like $45 million a year?
Also, Dan, the Clippers have their bird rights, and when you have the bird rights, you can go over the tax to
the Clippers have their star players need is no good as mine, bro.
That has nothing to do with what I just
said. Has everything to do with it. Paul George do you think he really wants to stay there?
Yeah.
And play with this nigga Kawhi?
He does.
40 games.
I just think it's a money issue. I just think he just want more money.
He just want to get paid.
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think he wants to win, but
now LA ain't gonna
listen
pay.
to me.
The Lakers ain't gonna be able to pay him.
Huh?
The Lakers?
Ain't you? Yeah, Paul George, Bron, and AD is not. That's what
we keep saying. Paul George to the Lakers.
Huh? That's not a squad to you, Pavy.
It's cool.
Cause you told me the Clippers was going to the finals, nigga.
I thought they was.
Okay, so you're not a good judge of what a team can do, nigga.
I thought they was.
I know you did, nigga. You thought they was out the first round. I said, nigga, they're cooked.
Hey, Dan, did you think the Lakers was going to the finals?
Hell no.
Why not?
I actually shoot.
No, wait a minute. I'm asking the question. Why not?
Because you can't listen. Here, and
I just want to find out. I know.
Because you can't outplay terrible coaching, and Darvin was a terrible fucking coach. What happened to Denver just proves that what happened like with the Wolves in Denver proves they weren't this juggernaut, this fucking unbeatable squad. If you watch those games against us, bro, a lot of most of the games were like close as fuck, and Darvin just sitting there with his pockets, letting runs happen and shit, not knowing what he's doing and shit.
Do you blame because you also said coaching, but you also said players on the team?
Oh no, health, man. Like our best fucking wing defender didn't play at all, like pretty much. Like
so,
Vando was missed dearly.
My question to you, my biggest question to you is: do you blame Darvin Ham more, or do you blame Rob Pelinka for the team that he set up?
I don't mind the team. That same team went to the Western Conference Finals, so I don't think that team was ass. I didn't think it was a championship team. It's like 90% coaching and then 10% injury.
So I'm glad that you said that because I don't know if you heard me early in the show. I say real coaching is back. Real team building is back. You actually have to have a good man on the sidelines that's going to help you get to where you need to go.
When did it leave?
Oh, it left for a minute. Because you got people like Frank Vogel who winning championships and shit. You got people like
no.
I didn't say he was a bad coach. No, I did not say he was a bad coach. But when I look at Frank Vogel, I don't look at Frank Vogel as a top 10 head coach. And I definitely didn't think that Darvin Ham was going to be
ain't no top 10 head coaches going to be available.
So my question to you is,
you just need, if you can't, you're not going to get popped. You're not going to get Eric Spoelstra.
My question, because
you need a good coach that knows how to draw plays, fill the game, and then your players will do the rest.
So do you?
Darvin was just that nigga. Did you seen his clipboards, bro? The nigga would just write some shit he's definitely rebound more on a clipboard.
He's definitely somebody who probably had to grow into the position, and the Lakers was not the team to do that with. So my question to you is, based off of what people are saying the candidates, Reddick, my man from my man who was the former head coach of the Hornets, Sam Cassell. or anybody else.
Yeah.
Who do you in the league currently actively coaching or like as an assistant? Because Tyloo ain't going nowhere because that he about to get an extension. Who would you like to see? Who would
I don't
you like
know.
to see?
I don't really care. Like, there's nobody there that like moves me much. I just need somebody that understands basic schemes, can feel the game, knows when to call a timeout, knows how to draw plays out of timeouts. Doesn't have their star players saying it looks like we don't know what the fuck we're doing out there.
You need LeBron James to be 10 years younger, and that would fix all the problems with this basketball.
You need Kawhi to have a fucking knee, bro. What are you saying?
We're not talking about Kawhi. We're not talking about. I don't disagree with you.
Bro, stop it. Stop acting. No. Like, let's live in magical land. You know, let's live in magical land for 1 second, because you know they've been talking about this Donovan Mitchell trade, right?
Donovan Mitchell
somehow Woj and
see that $205 million contract in his face. Like, where do I sign?
I don't know. He said he wanted anyway.
Garland don't go.
Yeah, Garland out of there.
Oh, hold on. Let me finish. But no, you see how all of a sudden magically Woj and Shams know how the salary cap works, but Pavy don't. So let's live in imaginary land, and let's say the Donovan Mitchell trade happens, right? You don't need Bron to be 10 years younger if you got AD and Donovan Mitchell on his fucking team.
Have you watched Donovan Mitchell?
More hater talk. That's more hater talk. Bron gonna give you his 25, 6, and 7, no matter what. And literally that's what we was missing. Just like, damn, we just need a nigga out there to just fuck it. I can get 25, 30 points tonight. I don't need Bron to set me up. He can sit down. You know what I'm saying? That's what Spider can do. So, again, but I know this is a pod full of haters. So a nigga like Pavy and Nick, you know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas, of course, y'all gonna say, how is that gonna work? You know, that's cool as hell. You can't even fit the salary cap. Then why the fuck is Woj and Shams talking about Donovan Mitchell since the fucking Lakers got eliminated?
Tell me the trade. Tell me the trade. Tell me the trade.
Yeah, we gotta wrap this up because we got
clear and concisely. I can't understand you, sir.
Tell me the trade.
I don't know. It's supposed to be like D'Lo, Austin, Rui, and a bunch of first round picks. Huh?
Pull up the trade machine and tell me the trade.
Nigga, go look at fucking Shams' page. I'm not gonna do this with you, bro.
I want you to pull up.
Why? You just don't say. Just say I don't want to believe it because the thought of making the Lakers better makes you want to throw up. Is that a WNBA hoodie, nigga?
No, I just want you.
Okay, you gonna say
the views and thoughts expressed by that.
I fucks with the WNBA. Why y'all panicking?
Okay,
is that a WNBA hoodie, nigga?
The way you said this shit, they had us panicking. Fuck you talking about?
I just want to know what he got on.
Yes, WNBA hoodie. Supporting the sisters today. Showing love to the women.
Acting like them too, huh?
Oh my goodness.
The views and thoughts expressed.
Okay, all right. So we gotta wrap this up for real. We got one more second.
I talk to Pavy every day, man. Stop it. That's light work.
Dan, let them know where they can follow you on Twitter. We know your IG got hacked.
But no, I should. I got my email. No, man. Yeah, they've been scamming on my shit.
Clicking shit you ain't had no business.
No, bro. Literally, if my password got leaked, I was involved in a password leak. Okay. I got an email, and then next thing I know, I can't get on IG, and they trying to sell crypto and Range Rovers.
They're definitely scamming off your shit.
But Meta just contacted me, and I should get an email by tonight or tomorrow too. Like, they got the account back, so you shouldn't be seeing any brand new scams. This is like an hour ago. Any brand new scams?
So we shouldn't see no brand new scams. We should just see the old school scams that you normally
right, cracking cars and shit. All that West Side nigga shit, you know, out of the conversion van. No, man. Follow me at Dan_Glorious on Twitter. My IG will be back. Hopefully by tomorrow. I got to clean it up and shit. Other than that, man, shout out to Dave Free. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that for the weekend, man. Damn. Yeah, it's Monday. That baby depressed. Yeah. I'm gonna leave y'all with that for the week, man.
All right, cuzzo.
Fuck you, Pavy.
Y'all know to follow Pav, man, at Pavy World. New music coming soon. Get the first episode of Courtesy of the Bachelor. Check all that out. Pav, we'll holler at you next week, bro.
See y'all later.
All right, Courtney, what's going on? I know you didn't step into the madness.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I just walked into. That's crazy. I would have been swinging on somebody, but that's
well, when I'm dealing with my cousin, it's just, it's a lot. We had to put a lot of disclaimers on there. But anyway,
yeah,
we're gonna wrap this show today with some baseball talk. I know a lot of you people have been waiting for the Hot Corner podcast. We promise you it's coming soon.
Listen, let's keep it a buck, okay? I'm going to stop you right here, Scott. We don't need to make no excuses because nobody gives a fuck about Major League Baseball until after Memorial Day anyway. Now, listen, I'm built different. You gave me shit for sitting up there taking notes on preseason games. I won't be ashamed. I have a problem, okay? I have a problem. But the general populace does not care about Major League Baseball before Memorial Day. Well, I'm here for the people that do to help scratch the itch a little bit, like Alfred Woodard.
Hey, you said it. I didn't. That's what I was thinking.
I'm just being honest.
I just wanted to put like a more of a company man spin on it. But the Hot Corner podcast will be coming soon. Once Mikey gets off IR, we'll be talking about that. But let's get into everything that's going on in baseball right now, man. We're gonna talk about your Rangers. Even though the Rangers not having the best season after coming off a championship, they still coming off a championship. And right now, Dallas sports is on fire. Of course, the Dallas Wings, they're in the Western Conference Finals, and the Dallas Mavericks are in the Western Conference Finals.
Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars. I said Wings.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the Wings are hooping too.
The Wings hooping too.
The girls are hooping. My girl Enrique, shout out to her. They're hooping. We love
Wings hooping too.
We love all of the Dallas area sports teams. There's an asterisk there, except for the Cowboys.
Yeah, except for the Cowboys. They beat the Sky a couple nights ago, so shout out to them as well. But my question is, are the Rangers cooked? Are the Rangers cooked right now?
That's a great question. Like a lot of other teams, they are facing a serious injury problem. And the Rangers issue right now is not just injuries. Evan Carter just came back on Sunday after being on the IL. The Rangers currently, after Evan Carter came back, have 12 players on the IL right now. So it's not great. And it definitely doesn't help when you have guys who come up and then maybe don't perform up to par. Jack Leiter, most notably, right? We were super excited. Hi, Orlando. we were so excited about that. And through 2 appearances so far, he has a sub-17 ERA. Yes, that is 1.7 or 6. Actually, I think it's 1.6. Or is 16.3 something. It's crazy. Okay, trying to get a beat on that. I personally don't think he was ready, but also the Rangers don't necessarily have the best history for pitching development. So we'll see how that plays out. Do I think that they are cooked? Not necessarily.
Only game and a half back right now.
Yeah. They're what? They're 3-7, unfortunately, in their last 10 games.
The last 10
and listen, here's the thing. They're hurt, but they're starting pitching right now of Michael Lorenzen, John Gray, Jose Urena. They put together in their last combined 4 starts, sub-2 ERA. It's really the bullpen and the offense that's letting them down. I think once the offense starts stepping up a little bit more and kind of trying to ease the burden of that starting pitching, that we'll see the Rangers turn it around. It's unfortunate that they didn't capitalize more on the Astros just being absolute ass cheeks for the first 2 months of the season, and they kind of let them claw their way back in that divisional race. But no, I think we're setting ourselves up for a good 3-way match going into the All-Star break for sure.
Yeah, and I just don't trust Seattle like that. Like I feel like Seattle.
Oh no, no.
Game and a half lead, nothing.
I have to be honest. I don't really know if I trust the Astros right now either. They're in a similar kind of situation where their pitching is done right now. Their pitching is looking absolutely terrible.
The Astros and a little bit, the Rangers kind of remind me a little bit right now. Now, obviously, they have championship history, but they kind of remind me of the 2022 White Sox, where like just playing 500 ball. Like nothing worse than playing 500 ball.
Yeah. You just got to stay afloat right now. That's really there's so much baseball left to play. There, I think 48 games into the season now at this point, 45 games, 48 games, something like that. Like there's still so much baseball left to actually, I think they're 48 games exactly in right now because today is an off day. And then they're now unfortunately going into Philadelphia for a 3-game set. So that'll be a struggle. A struggle. Philadelphia is the hot team right now, so good luck to the Texas Rangers.
Good luck and God bless.
Yeah,
to the
real.
Rangers on things they doing. Let's talk about my Los Angeles Dodgers. Right now, the Dodgers are number 1 in the NL West. They've got the biggest division lead over all the teams in Major League Baseball right now. 7-game lead over the San Diego Padres, 32-17. Shohei Ohtani walk-off. I didn't know that was actually only a second career walk-off.
And that was his first as a Dodger.
First as a Dodger last night. He is moving those. I won't say he's moving the gambling thing away because we dropped something that came out a couple days ago that
David Fletcher, man.
might bring that back up a little bit. But he's been playing good ball right now. He's got I'm looking up right now as far as the stats. He's got 13 home runs, 33 RBIs. He's got an on base percentage of 1.0800 and batting average 353. He's having an amazing season. Now he's played a lot. He's had a lot of great seasons, but on trash teams, obviously. My question for you is: do you think that this is his best season ever, and do you think he has a real chance to win the National League MVP right now?
Yeah, so I was trying to look at what his previous seasons were in which he did win like the MVP obviously in the American League because he was playing with the Angels before. But his previous best start prior to this year was when he did have his MVP season in 2021. Through the first 45 games, he was batting .270 with 15 home runs, 38 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, and a .953 OPS. Obviously, he is clearing that right now. But that's his most comparable stat line through 45 games throughout his career so far. And keep in mind, he's not pitching right now. So, it might beg the question, like, do you get the most value out of him when he doesn't have to worry about pitching? It's something worth thinking about, especially as the Dodgers move forward. They definitely didn't pay him that much money, deferred or otherwise, to only get him as a hitter. But you also have to think kind of long term since you do have him locked up for so long. Like, listen, can we extrapolate the most value out of this guy by having him solely focus on hitting? Because, like, listen, that's an incredibly valuable hitter. If he can maintain that throughout the season, that's insane.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think that's the same too. I think that, with Shohei, to me, it kind of looks like, he's really taking advantage of just the batting order you got. When you got guys like Mookie Betts, and you got guys like Freddie Freeman, even guys like, who don't get all the praise, guys like, Teoscar Hernandez, who's having a real good year right now.
Great year.
With
Andy
the Dodgers.
Pages came up and has been a stud. Yep.
Yeah, so like he's in the best lineup ever, so it puts less of a pressure on him to carry the weight that him and Mike Trout had to carry. And a lot of times,
my only fear though is that I wonder if because he's in such a stacked lineup and surrounded by stars, will his efforts be overshadowed? Will the writers have voter fatigue, right?
Yeah.
How many times can you sit up here and say year after year after year, okay, yeah, we get it, you're great, here you go again? Like, it almost becomes kind of like a default almost. That's no fault of his own, right? But like when you're surrounded by that much star power, it's probably pretty hard to stand out. So we'll see how this voting goes, especially since he's now in the National League and there are some other guys making a lot of noise that are also from Japan.
Yeah, perfect segue. We can get into the pictures. We get into the pictures, man. We got kind of like it actually kind of gets us to the last topic of this, and I actually want to get you to talk a little bit about Dallas Stars. We wrap this up too. I want to
for sure
get your opinion on that, but I don't want to pronounce my man's name wrong. It's Shota Imanaga. There we go. Shota Imanaga, rookie pitcher for the Chicago Cubs. Right now, he has an ERA of 0.84. He's got 58 strikeouts right now, and he is 5-0 for the Cubs. He's been one of the bright sides.
Wins are not a pitcher stat.
They're not a pitcher stat, but with the way this offense for the Cubs been looking, it might have to be. With the way the Cubs offense been looking. What do you think his chances are of being a pitcher who can win Rookie of the Year?
Well, I mean, I really like his odds right now. When I think of other NL Rookie of the Year candidates, the only guy that really stands out to me, especially unfortunately since dude from San Francisco. His name is escaping me right now. But he just had shoulder surgery, and that was my preseason NL Rookie of the Year pick. So that was super disappointing. But the only other guy, in my opinion, right now that's competing with him for Rookie of the Year is Paul Skeens, but he's only had 2 starts so far. But he has not, as far as I know, let's see, 2.7 ERA in 2 starts, 10 innings pitched. I don't think he allowed a single hit in his last appearance against the Cubs, actually. So that's kind of my only guy that I think could actually challenge him for that award. I think there's enough season left for Paul to kind of, make a case for himself, especially if Shota does eventually come back down to earth. But a sub-1 ERA, listen, as a starting pitcher through 53.2 innings pitched, listen, you might be having to have a greater conversation than Rookie of the Year at that point. I'm talking Cy Young.
Ooh, Cy Young would be a big jump.
In the first season. And also, for the record, related to the Rookie of the Year thing, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent, but I do think that it's unfair to call guys who pitched professionally in other advanced leagues rookies. I'm not saying that obviously Japanese baseball is of the same level as Major League Baseball, but it's also not small change, which is why they're able to go scout guys from over there and bring them over here, and they come over here, I should say, and play Major League Baseball. So I don't know if maybe there should be a different award or something, for those types of players. But yeah, I mean, I'm currently on the Imanaga train for sure. Now, if only that offense could get going, because
I'll say this.
What a mess.
I have my Cubs hate is not as high as it used to be because I am not a practicing White Sox fan right now. But
yeah, I really don't. Speaking of, I don't have too much to say about them. When your best offensive player is Gavin Sheets and Corey Jones is coming in and making Andrew Benintendi look bad, I don't want anything to do with it.
I had that on there because I thought Dante was going to be on here today, and I thought he was going to give a little bit of I don't know, some type of bright look on it. I don't have any. In fact,
the only bright look I have is that Corey Jolks is not in the Astros system, and now he gets to go rot with the White Sox. That's probably it. Optimism right there.
But let's talk about the Cubs at least. The Cubs right now are number 2 in the NL Central. They're 26-22, 2 games behind the Milwaukee Brewers. But this offense looks real broken right now. I think they lost last night to the Pirates. Had a win before that on a very controversial call. With Cody Bellinger being called safe at the plate, only scored 1 run, and that was the game-winning run. What do you think about the Cubs season they had? Do you think it's time for them to make a bullpen move? Because there have been games that I've seen where they did put up runs and the bullpen bring it back up and went jagged at the end. What's your thought on the Cubs 40-some games in?
Yeah, so, I mean, that's going to happen, right? For me, the Cubs are kind of having a similar problem to the Rangers where their starting pitching has actually been surprisingly good, right? I mean, even aside from Imanaga, their pitching as a whole has been pretty good. It's just the offense that hasn't been able to produce a quality string of outings out there. But let's break it down just a little bit, just because I had the same question as you. Why aren't they winning more baseball games? So, I mean, and this is also excluding Kyle Hendricks, who very respectfully may need to be taken behind the shed.
Yeah, you need to go home and be a family man.
No disrespect. He's had a great career, but I think it's swan song time.
Yeah, family man records.
So Jameson Taillon right now has a 2.24 ERA. Mark Leiter Jr., Jack's cousin, currently has a 0.95 ERA in 19 games at the pen. Hector Neris, former Astro, he has a 2.65 ERA in 18 appearances out of the bullpen. So they're not. Listen, there's a lot of bright spots within that team. I mean, Ben Brown is a stud. There's a lot of great pieces there on that team, but listen, you can't do much when Nico Horn is your best hitter, batting 269, and you're slugging 383 in your last 10 games. That's atrocious. That's not going to do anything. Maybe in the NL Central, where you're not battling too many other guys like other divisions, but you have to do better than that if you're the Cubs. For your pitchers, if nothing else.
Do you think that there'll be some type of move? Now, granted, we're basically 2 months away from the trade.
Assad has been dealing.
Basically
all of their pitchers have been dealing.
Yeah.
It's again kind of like the Rangers. Listen, I'm not saying that the Rangers pitching situation is perfect, but they're having a similar problem. The offense just can't get going. You can't have two things right at the same time. Peanut butter, no jelly, ham, no burger.
Do you think that Jed Hoyer maybe has a move up? Now, granted, like I said, the trade deadline like another 2 months from now. What do you think will take for him to be able to make a move? Because Chicago GMs like to do this thing where they pump fake that they're going to make a move and they don't ever actually do that.
No, that's a great question. I like to think that they have what they need in house. We got ball players at home type shit, but like, I don't really know. For me, I would feel more comfortable assessing this in a couple of series. I was looking at their schedule. Let me pull it back up real quick. I was looking at their schedule. And they got to play. They got some tough teams to kind of get them. Gosh. Yeah.
Might be curtains.
No, I mean, listen, it's getting, like a lot of teams, it's getting late early. It's getting late real early. And keep in mind, a lot of teams are facing the same problem. So unless you're prepared to back the Brinks truck up a little bit in terms of prospects, listen.
Yeah, you don't know what they're gonna do. It might be curtains right there.
I mean, they've got a couple of like interesting stretches in there. But they got Philly, San Francisco for 2 different sets. I mean, Tampa is Tampa, but they have a lot of NL Central opponents in between now and the All-Star break. So I don't know, man. They don't play Milwaukee, fortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be
Actually,
something.
they play Milwaukee once for one 3-game set before the All-Star break, and then they go right back after the All-Star break and they play Milwaukee again. So I don't know, man. I think they need some. I do think that they could benefit from some more pitching, but who couldn't, right?
I agree with that. One last thing before we get you out of here, we're gonna kind of pivot to hockey. Game 7 between the Canucks and the Oilers go down tonight in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah, and I'm about to be tuned in. I got a chicken in the oven right now.
You got food ready.
I'm about to feast.
And the winner of that will play the Dallas Stars with a chance to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. You had an up-close view to it. What do you think about this run that Dallas has had, and who do you think will be the better opponent for the Stars, and what the chances are actually bringing home a cup this year?
I mean, I not to be a homer, but I really do like their odds. The whole season, the team has prided themselves on the amount of depth that they have, and that is definitely rung true. Lots of short, long shifts, but these guys are dogs. And every line that's come in for Dallas has just been so dominant. And there's somebody on every line that can score, which is not common. As we saw with them playing Colorado, that was a top line heavy team. And they didn't have a whole lot of depth, and it definitely showed, when Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar weren't on the ice.
Right.
So, yeah, as far as the better opponent for Dallas, I mean, here's the thing. As far as going off goalie alone, the better matchup for Dallas would be Edmonton, just because they have a kind of uncertain situation in their net. When Stuart Skinner is on, right? But lately they've been having some issues in net, so they've been kind of doing a sort of goalie tandem thing, which is really hard for guys to kind of find a rhythm and stay in that rhythm when there's only a game in between or day in between games, But then again, you have Vancouver, who has Thatcher Demko. When he is healthy, he is he's a stud. He's a top 5 goalie. So you just kind of hope that you don't get Vancouver back when they have Demko. I got to be honest, I'd rather play Vancouver than play Edmonton. Connor McDavid.
You don't want no part to Connor McDavid.
Well, for me, just be based on what I've been seeing. Listen, guys have a miraculous way of being able to step up when they need to. But there's been a lot of shots that Connor McDavid hasn't been taking, and that's what kind of makes me wary about, like, is he maybe injured? Is there like some kind of upper body injury? It's definitely not lower body. The man's as fast as anybody on the ice, but like I worry about his upper body simply because there's a lot of shots that I've seen where he's maybe deflected or deferred to pass, which is very unlike him. Yeah. And that's why currently the playoff goal leader is Zach Hyman in goals scored. That's a wild last name. I know I didn't choose it. Zach Hyman and Leon Draisaitl have really been carrying the freight offensively for Edmonton.
Is there anybody in the East? Are you worried about Florida? Are you worried about New York? Any smoke?
Oh, I'm for sure worried about the East. And to say that I'm not worried about, everyone says that rest is a great thing in a series, but when you sit at home for too long, the rest starts to collect on the legs, Right. But fortunately, because they did clinch the Western Conference, the top seed in the Western Conference, they do have home ice advantage. So that'll be nice. First game is on Thursday and it's at a regular time. So you're welcome to those in the Central and East Coast time zones because the games are starting puck drops at like 7:30 Thursday and Saturday respectively. So
definitely, there's no NBA on tonight, so I'm gonna check out this game 7.
Let's go.
I haven't watched I think the last hockey game I watched, like in the playoffs, was when the Avalanche won a couple years ago. So
Dan, you didn't watch any of the Stars games? The freaking Golden Knights series went to 7.
I've been watching the NBA.
In the group chat.
I've been in the NBA, and
That's crazy.
And I've been going to sleep.
Crazy. I don't care. Leon Draisaitl, baby bottle. Who cares? Stars in 6, baby. Stars in 6, baby.
Well, Courtney, always good to have you on. Of course, we'll hopefully we'll have the whole crew on very soon. So, yes. Let them know they get in tune with you and everything you got going on.
Absolutely. You can follow me at 1-800-COLLABRO on Instagram or on Twitter for hockey talk, baseball talk, all things sports that aren't NBA because I do not care. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
I'll pretend I'll throw on a little t-shirt, go team.
Go Mavericks. That's what you're gonna be saying. Go Mavericks.
Man, no, I need that. No, we'll talk about that off here. Yeah.
We want America to win.
Publicly, go Mavericks.
We want America to win. Go Timberwolves. But all right, Courtney, we'll holler at you.
Sounds good, man.
So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this episode up. We're gonna my bad, Bang. I've been doing you like I've been doing Dante, pressing buttons and shit. But I just want to say to everybody out there, the views and thoughts. This camera keep falling, and your microphone's on mute. For a second time.
Oh, my bad. The views and thoughts from Dan Glorious and this show does not reflect the views and the values of Barbershop Network and HCB Media
and Pillars.
And Pillars. My bad. And Pillars.
And this has been a chaotic show. My microphone went up by 3 times. Y'all done seen the wall. Everything that's been going on, man. But we appreciate y'all for watching. No local out of there. As you can tell, we've been going for 2.5 hours. And I'm hungry, nigga. So I will be back on Wednesday with I'm Not Gonna Hold You halftime, where I'll be recapping game 1 of Celtics Pacers and giving y'all a preview of game 1 of the Timberwolves and the Mavericks. Tune in tomorrow on Barbershop Network for Bang's 42, a live episode of Some Dude. And if I'm around, shoot me a link. I'll come on for a little bit.
Gotcha.
Shoot me the link. I'll come on for a little bit. Pull up next Thursday. It's Bang's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to you, dog. And come out, celebrate 200 episodes of Some Dude next Thursday, May 30th. Celebrate Bang's birthday. Pavy may or may not be there. If he's there, you can celebrate that nigga birthday too. There's a lot of big birthdays. So come out, have a good time. Haymarket Pub and Brewery. The homie Basha from the label will be spinning. And contrary to what Cousin Dan says, they don't just play Not Like Us in just the state of California. As I'm pretty sure you will hear this at this event. Because I'm going to request it if she doesn't play it already, which I'm pretty sure she will already. So any final thoughts, Bang, before we get up out of here?
You basically said it, man. Next time y'all see me, I'll be 42. So I'm about to go. Matter of fact, So basically what I'm about to do right now is go ahead and schedule the next episode of First Black Champ podcast as well. So y'all go ahead and check that out right here on the Barbershop Network. And hey man, Scott already told y'all, so man, we'll see y'all on the 30th.
Yeah, we'll see y'all on the 30th. Also thanks to the homegirl Reeta for joining us. Always good to talk football with her. Shout out to Mari for filling in for Dante today. And we'll be back on Friday, man. Once again, the views and thoughts of Dan Glorious do not reveal. In fact, that was the season finale of his segment. You will not be seeing that nigga. So
last time y'all see this graphic for a little bit.
Last time you see this graphic for a little bit. I was like, I was like, hold on, man. I know people who know Kendrick. Chill out, nigga. Like you trying to get me hemmed up.
The views and thoughts by this nigga here. This does not reflect J.R. Bang and his thoughts.
And Scott Lewis and his thoughts. Not at all, man. So we will holler at y'all. Y'all have a good evening. I'm watching Caitlin Clark right now. Look like she having a good game. So I'm finna get into this NHL Game 7 while I edit these clips. So we gonna holler at y'all, man. We up out of here.